Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 233 for the 26th of July, 2024. I'm your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello.
That is all.
There's no Dave.
No, Dave. No, Dave. Dave is unwell. Hopefully, he will be well forthwith and back as soon as possible. Well, I remember I am not here. I'm guessing. I sent a text saying I'm not here next week because I'm away. And Dave jumped on that straight away and went, "Hurrah! No show." So unless Neil
Well,
is
we'll
planning
see.
on doing, well, Neil
Maybe
actually,
Dave will
yes,
change his mind over his not being here tonight because of an early week
Dave,
off.
Neil, yeah, that's right. You have words with him, Neil.
We'll see.
That's all right. Neil
We'll
will
see.
take care of it. Neil will get you a show, people. I know what he's like. I
Terrible.
know his powers. I know his powers. I don't even think Neil knows his powers of persuasion.
There is no power.
You have power. You definitely have made me.
A raised eyebrow emoji is usually
There
enough.
was a point, wasn't there? There was a point where I was sort of crying off some shows, seemed regularly, and you were raising an eyebrow, and it was enough for me to come crying back.
Yeah.
Anyway,
One of
we're
us
here.
has got to crack the whip every now and again.
Dave's not here. He's got an upset tummy.
Oh, spit mean.
I know. Well, you can have both. I hope you get well soon, Dave, and then you can have the piss takes too. It's like you get a bit of both here, right? That's what mates are all
bit
about.
Of both. You're a bit of both in that, are you?
Yeah, a bit of both in it. Welcome to the show then. Let's what a load of nonsense. Let's just keep moving forward. Anything football related?
We've got 11 people in the FPL league so far. Or maybe 12 now.
12
if you've renewed your team, yeah.
Yeah, I just renewed, so it was 12 I counted.
It's cool. So bring it on, peeps. Let's get more than 20 odd. And once you're in that league, there is a link in the Discord for the head-to-head league that you will manually need to join because that does not let you in automatically for some reason.
I'm pretty sure that most people, if they are listeners who are in the league, will know to join the head-to-head. I think we'll get a big bump compared to last year because it was the first year, wasn't it? Last year
it was the first time we'd done the head-to-head league.
Yeah,
I had to come up with a gaming-related league names. So Big Head Mode was the best I could come up with for the head-to-head league.
Oh, very clever.
And obviously we have League of Legends, which is video game related for the main league. I couldn't come up with anything better this year, so that's the same league. And then we've got a challenge mode, which they've changed. The challenge mode came in last year towards the end of the season, but this is from the beginning this year. We're doing a challenge mode, which is separate. First 4 game weeks have been announced. It's 5-a-sides, and there's a different theme for the first 4 weeks. But this year, they're going to keep a league total running for that. If you start a mini league and you join a mini league, they'll keep a running total of points. And whereas last year, whatever, it was like a week-to-week basis, so people were like not really interested. But Challenge League is a different type of FPL, so.
All right, I may need reminders and pointers on that one. If I don't know, is that how much more is that to think about?
See, it's not really, like I say, it's 5-a-side for the first 4 weeks, so you only have to pick 5 players. So it's not that much to think about, really. There's unlimited budget for the first week.
I can agonize for hours over one player, so I mean,
there's restrictions every week. Like this first week is, well, there's no restrictions. You can have whatever you want for the first week, but it's only 5 players: a goalkeeper, a defender, 2 midfielders, and a forward. There's 1 week where it's still 5-a-side, but it's all-out attack. So you have a goalkeeper and then 4 strikers.
They set these,
and then there's a budget for that week, so 35 million or something, or whatever. So there's a different, it's a totally different game every week in the challenge mode. But if you're so you will need to do something every week, something new every week in the challenge mode.
Yeah, I suppose 5 minutes you could throw something at the wall and see what happens, right? Okay.
It's just for cracks and shits and giggles.
Yeah, that's all right.
Not that any of these competitions that we run have any prizes involved. So
it's all good. Okay, I can get it. I can get on board with that, I think.
Christian's in the chat giving me shit already.
Really? About what?
He said you can roll up to 5 free transfers. This is the main game, not the thing. If you're not Neil. Don't know what he's getting at there.
I don't know. The change to the
I've got a plan this year.
Uh-oh. Dare I ask, or is it top
Plan
secret?
is to do well. Plan
All
is
right.
not. I've got no loyalties again this season. There's no Luton in town in the Premier League, so I can just fully
I
focus
don't
on.
think you can attribute your final standings to Luton being in the Premier League
Well,
last
it
year.
definitely was a massive distraction for me last year. So I was more interested in how Luton were doing than how my FPL team was doing, to be for sure.
Oh, yeah, of course you were.
But I could have given up quite early, I guess, on Luton's hopes for that season. But they kept it interesting for quite a long time. In fact, right to the second last week of the season, really. We were
I
still
spent most
potentially
of this.
contending.
I think I spent, uh, I would say, a good 2/3 of the season with a Luton player in my squad.
Yeah. So I don't know
Not
who that's
more.
going to be this year. Is it going to be Ipswich?
Probably Southampton. I'm eyeing up. There is supposed to be some wonder kid on the
Harwood
Southampton
Bayliss,
squad. Is
who
that his
plays in
name? I don't know.
defence. He's only 4 million.
Could be the
I don't
one.
know if he's a wonder kid.
I'm
He
gonna
came
be.
from Arsenal, I think. I'm sure he was
Yeah.
at Arsenal before. Have you got a
So yeah,
notebook?
I got a notebook.
It's ready for your
I wrote it
FPL. It's
down.
200 pages.
Oh no! What did you say his name was?
Harwood Bayliss.
No, that's not who I got.
There's Leaf Davis from Ipswich,
No,
who's the
Adam
guy who
Armstrong
scored. Adam
from
Armstrong.
Southampton. Yeah,
He's not a
he's my
fucking kid.
he's my secret weapon.
Right, okay. He's not
Mate,
very
all
secret
people who
anyway.
play in the Premier League are kids to me now.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
stop kidding yourself.
technically, you could be their dad, I guess. Almost everyone in the Premier League. Thiago Silva's left now. He was like 40, so you wouldn't have been struggled to be his dad.
I could be,
But
yeah, mate. I could definitely easily be everyone in the Premier League's dad. No worries.
every
Who's
single one of them. There's about 300. You'd have been busy.
yeah, probably actually up to the late 30s. I'd be struggling a bit, but
You
anyway,
reckon you could have fathered that many children?
technically, easily.
Technically, easily.
Well, yeah. I mean, but we're getting into the.
That's a lot
Never
of
mind.
shagging.
Well, I'm maybe not doing it all myself, but with
Then
some
they wouldn't
help
be your
from.
kids, would they?
Yeah, they were still could still be if I was donoring, right?
All right. One off the wrist. One off the wrist, 25 kids.
A moment off the wrist, a lifetime off the checkbook. Uh, all right, this is.
This has
Let's
gone
go.
downhill
What else?
rapidly, hasn't it?
Absolutely, Dave, come back. All right. Any more football?
No, just get on it, lads and lasses, if you're listening. If you're not in the Discord, come and join.
Sort
Get
it out.
involved.
All right.
I did post a outrageous goal in the Discord from Zlatan.
Yeah, I watched that actually just not
It's
long
just
ago.
ridiculous. My son, I
Yes.
showed it to my son. He's like, "Oh, I've seen this before." I was like, "Well, it's still fucking amazing." I'm sorry,
Yeah, it is.
absolutely
Yeah.
outrageous.
You keep just saying he can't do it again. He can't do
Yeah.
it again.
Oh, he
He
did.
can't do it again. Love
And
it.
just when you think he's going to do another one, he actually sticks it in the back of the net. Oh, that's cheeky. Absolutely
Yeah,
outrageous.
very.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Don't know.
He thinks
God
he's God,
knows.
doesn't he? I think he is God. Well, he thinks he is God.
Goals like that, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, see
All right,
what
let's
you're
move
missing
on.
if you're not on the Discord.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to some
You can't
listener
see what
stuff.
you're missing if you're not on the Discord.
Exactly. You don't know what you're missing. It's all good. You're not missing much. All right, listener stuff. Paul W says, when do you feel you officially became a gamer? Was it the first time you played a video game or when you first had a full-time access at home to a computer / video game system?
Do you think you're a gamer?
I think I properly thought I was a gamer. I think in the 360, probably around, no, I don't know.
Was it when you first bought your own system? Is that when you're in? That's when you're in. No, you're in because you've actually put down money that wasn't yours. Or was yours, sorry.
I think, I mean, I've always played video games, right? I played video games in the arcades. I had a Spectrum, then I had a Gap, and then once I finished university and was living alone, video gaming just exploded. And when you have money in your pocket, then you can buy all you want. So
Yeah.
I probably really felt like personally, I think I really felt like a gamer when I started playing video games with other people,
So
right? And there was
360.
a sense of community. So I would say maybe even around about the Xbox One time because we were doing hookups on Halo and stuff like that. And
360 was multiplayer. That's when things
No,
really
no, no,
kicked off.
no, no. I'm talking
Or the
Xbox
OG Xbox.
original, OG Xbox. Yeah. So I used
Yeah,
I
yeah, a bit of Halo.
my
Did you
yeah,
play Halo online? It
but
was Halo 2, wasn't it? Halo
no,
2 was online.
you couldn't play it online, but
Halo
you
2
could.
could.
Yeah. So my flatmate Darren, who was in the below me, we ran a cable out my window down to the side of the house into his flat.
We definitely had.
Yeah.
I'd go around my mate's house, and we had 2 Xbox OGs and 2 TVs back to back, and there would be like 2 people on one TV, 2 people on another TV playing like Halo, and Halo was big.
Oh, it was all Halo for us.
Yeah.
We did
That was the one that fucking changed everything, I think.
yeah, a name drop again. My mate Richard, the guy who did the music for Guardians of the Galaxy, and he just got awarded an honorary degree from a musical university, which is very impressive. It's one of those things.
What does
It's
that
pretty
mean?
cool.
Means you didn't
What an
do
honor.
any of the work.
Okay, all right, don't slag it off. All right, no. But anyway, we went round to his. We did that. We had like how many televisions do we have? We definitely had, I think, 4 televisions and 3 or 4 people on each television. It was
Like a LAN party. Proper
yeah,
nerd shit.
proper nerdy madness. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I guess that's probably like. Because I don't know. I feel like I definitely played games when I was young. We had a Commodore 64 because we were lucky. None of that Spectrum 4 colour shit in my house. We had 16 colours.
Nice.
No consoles. Didn't have a console until I think the SNES was the first console that I bought. Or an SNES if you're fucking from the USA. For some reason, you can't say SNES.
European SNES.
Yeah. Famicom in Japan, wasn't it?
Which looks 100 times better than the North American version, in my honest opinion.
Which one was the North American? Is that the purple one?
That's the purple, and it's got sharp edges on it and whatever.
Yeah.
But then
The
you look at the
SNES was
European one,
curvy
SNES
and
has got,
sexy.
yeah, really looks nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the Japanese one was a bit weird looking as well. Was that not like the American one, the Japanese one?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. That was the Famicom, wasn't it?
Super Famicom.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that was it. Mario Kart and all that. That was pre-Xbox, isn't it? So I don't know. That's probably when, like I say, I think buying your first console or computer when you've laid down some cash for sure feels like a real, like this is a commitment.
Yeah,
It's multiple hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, isn't it? Because I mean,
I played a lot of games when I was little, when the Commodore 64.
Yeah, so did I. Like, I mean, I used to just die for the arcade, right? I would have sold a kidney for a bag of quarters, right?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. When I was 11 years old, or
Super
however old,
Monaco
10 or 11.
GP.
So
I
yeah,
loved
I
the
think
fucking Sega machines when I was young. I was like, man, that looks fucking amazing. I remember going to a computer game show. I think it wasn't called not E3, obviously. It was what's the one? It's called EGX now, isn't it? Because it's the Eurogamer Expo.
Yeah, there was one I went to.
But
that
I
was
think
at
it was the
Olympia.
Computer Electronics Show, CES or something like that.
Yeah, CEX.
Maybe, or something like that. And there was not.
Or is it
I
CES?
feel like there was stuff that wasn't just computers games there. I feel like there was hi-fi shit as well.
Maybe.
Or maybe I'm conflating 2 events that I've been to. But I definitely remember playing Thunderblade, the helicopter game, Sega Thunderblade arcade, on the full, like, you sat on the fucking mini helicopter. When you pushed the stick left, the whole fucking thing rotated left and all that shit. And it was like, fucking hell, this is mental. And I did extremely shit. And I was dead within about 30 seconds, I think. And it's like, okay, I guess it's someone else's go. And I just waited about an hour to play that game for the 30 seconds. Right. But yeah, I was quite young then. But the arcades used to just be like fucking blowing my mind. Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, it was one of those you could just. It was one of those shows where they just all had the things that they put in the coin slot, and you just pressed the button, and it was just like made a coin go in the thing. It was like and the credits went along the screen. So yeah, great days. But I guess that. Going to a game show, I guess, is like a fucking.
That's not bad.
That's like a fucking. I'm a gamer now, I guess.
Yeah. No
this
doubt
is not
about
what
it.
normal people do.
there are lots of landmarks which could officialize it, right?
Yeah,
But I have a feeling you're just born that way. I mean, I just took to him like a duck to water. I think, like, my sister grew up with me, but she
not
was there in the
interested.
house when I had the Spectrum. We did play some video games together, but just not interested, right? So
Yeah, I think it was nerdy boy thing when we were young.
totally nerdy boy thing, yeah.
Girls were not into games at all when we were boys, young.
Not that I knew,
No,
anyway.
very rarely. It was a boy thing, a sweaty, smelly boy thing. What was I just thinking about then? Oh fuck! Something just came into my head and disappeared out of my
Sweaty
head almost.
boys.
No, it wasn't that. It was before that comment. Something came while I was talking. It just exited my head. But thank you, Arnie, for subbing again.
Oh, I think I need to do that too.
Uh,
All right, thanks, Paul, for the
for the memories. Oh
for
yeah,
the
ZX8. Oh, I was thinking. I played. We had a ZX81, which was the precursor to the Spectrum, and it was monochrome, so it was just literally black and white. And we had the one. It was 1K memory, 1K, no gigs, 1K. And you could buy a 16K RAM pack to plug in, which was the fucking massive, and it added 15K to the RAM.
living the dream.
Yeah, and you could. We programmed a game inverted commas, was called Sniper, and literally you had to press a key every time something appeared on the screen, and that was the game.
Right. Nice.
And yeah, that was a bit shit. Clearly, ZX81 had that real shit membrane keyboard. Do you know how bad the Spectrum keyboard was?
Yes.
It was
It was
worse than
even
that.
worse. No,
It was
I
because
know
it
what
was
that
like
was. Yeah.
flat. It was completely
Yeah.
flat. The ZX81 keyboard.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, absolute dog shit. And you used to have to press like 3 buttons to make it type a word or whatever and stuff. I remember that. You like hold shift and press L and it would like put load or whatever or something or other. Yeah, but then thankfully, and then my dad used to bring home his Commodore PET from work because that's what they used at work before PCs, and it had Defender on it. And that was
Nice.
I played a lot of Defender on my dad's work Commodore PET.
Well, on the green screen.
It was an orange screen, I believe.
Yeah,
So in my head it is in memory, but yeah, I don't think it was green. It was orange.
I remember we had pets at school, and that would have been 82.
Pets.
Green
School.
screens, and I played something on. I can't remember. Whatever.
Yeah.
I played around with them for a bit.
Yeah, so that kind of shit just blew my mind. I think when I was small, I was like, "This is fucking mental."
Well, I was thinking about this the other day, so I can remember as well. You know, the first person who turned up at school and they had a watch or a calculator or whatever it was, like an 8-digit LCD, and it had a game. And the game was like it showed a number and you had to shoot the number when it appeared. I don't know how and that to me, just my little 10 or 11-year-old brain, I was just gobsmacked by it, right? And it was this electronic manipulation of the normal, right? Which is, I don't know.
Yeah.
The ability to be challenged by your calculator, suddenly or whatever.
Without just writing boobs or whatever upside down.
Well, that never gets old.
Well, it's still not old now. Still raises a little chuckle, doesn't it? Sumu in the chat is saying he had Manic Miner and his dad used to stamp on the floor and he'd get a boot error. Still not funny. And he had Granny's Garden on the BBC computer at school. I have no idea what Granny's Garden is.
I don't know what Granny's Garden is. I don't even know if I want to think about that. But yeah, Manic Miner, there's a big boot coming down, wasn't there? Oh, that was how that was the death screen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Manic Miner, we had Jet Set Willy on the Commodore.
Well, that's the sequel. Or is that the...
Manic Miner, I think was only available on Spectrum. I believe. I might be talking bollocks, but I'm pretty sure that was only available on Spectrum.
Maybe.
But very similar, Jet Set Willy and Manic Miner.
Yeah.
Well, it was Jet Set Willy 2, technically, that we had. But I remember never finishing that game.
They were hard.
Fucking hard.
Yeah. You had to be dedicated. There was a level of dedication on those that I just, my son would have finished them.
I still remember. My fondest memories are definitely of my Commodore 64. There was some fucking bangers on that computer. There were some amazing games on Commodore 64 for the time.
Yeah, for sure.
They probably shit now.
I always wanted a C64. I was Spectrum.
Impossible Mission.
Longingly,
Fucking love that
longingly
game.
looking at C64s. Yeah, I never played that. I
Oh, I
heard it was
fucking loved
good.
that game. It was rock hard though.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely nearly came close to completing that game about 3 times out of the million times I probably played it. The amount of fun you could have for like, they were a tenner. A tenner was an expensive game, wasn't it, on the Spectrum and the Commodore? And it was two. You remember Mastertronic? Two
Yeah, they
quid
were the
games.
199s.
2 quid. I played a lot of 2 quid games.
I had tons of those games.
Yeah,
They're the only ones I could afford.
yeah. But so there were some good ones though. There was definitely some good
Yeah,
2 quid games for sure.
yeah, yeah. There were some dreadful ones as well.
Yes, yes.
All right, let's move on to Derek Signs. He says, "Hey Sealers, you seem to enjoy dissecting the photo of my works kitchen that I attached to my email last week." Yeah, it was Works Kitchen. Thank you for clearing that up.
Good job.
So I thought I'd send 2 photos this week, both taken in my bedroom. But don't
Uh-oh.
worry, these aren't photos you'd usually post on your Seal Podcast OnlyFans website. They do involve video games. With the online Xbox 360 store closing for good in 3 days on the 29th of July, I thought I'd send you photos of my remaining physical Xbox 360 games. My most played Xbox 360 game was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which I still sometimes fire up through backwards compatibility on my Xbox One S. Forgetting about the very unfortunate Red Ring of Death situation, I would class the Xbox 360 as one of my top 3 video game consoles, along with the PS2 and the PS4. Do you have any special memories of the Xbox 360, whether it's the console, the tech, the games, or the joys, or otherwise, of online gameplay? That's enough of typing the name Xbox 360.
It's a shame that's all going away. That was like a total game changer.
I would say Xbox 360 is my number one console. I don't know whether we've been. I think I've been asked this question a number of times,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure I'm consistent in saying that it's the Xbox 360. It just did everything. I mean, it
It was a
just
little piece of magic.
so many. It was so many. It did everything, include just completely implode as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, apart from that,
How many did you
you
have
know,
in the end? You reckon? We've got something.
I think I got to 3, possibly 4 on the warranties. I think I had, yeah, I think 3 or 4, or 3, and then I had one repaired, and I'm pretty sure I
Did you
bought
get
another one.
the new shape like we have in Derek's picture, the black one?
No, I never had anything apart from the original
Really,
white
the
shape.
OG what? Or
Yeah,
I reckon I had. I remember one thing very clearly is the day that Halo 3 launched. I picked that game up. There were 2 discs in that game, weren't there? There was one
yeah.
game.
There was a
There was a disc
Crackdown
that
demo.
no. There was a disc that was
Oh,
like
that was before, wasn't
it
it?
was
Crackdown had the
Crackdown came
Halo
with the
3 demo.
Halo demo,
3
wasn't it? Or
demo.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Halo
by
3. I had the
association,
special edition Halo 3 that had 2 discs, and I think one of them was just like a video. And I remember I watched disc 2, whatever it was, and I was like, yeah, I'm super hyped now to play Halo 3. Put Halo 3 in. Could you install the games back then? I think was that when
don't
they
think
definitely
so.
that became a thing where you could install the game to run it off the hard drive because it ran quicker.
Don't remember that.
I can't remember if that was then. But anyway, that was my first Red Ring of Death. I watched some fucking load of videos, and the instant I tried to play Halo 3, it fucking just went, the screen went like snow and everything. I was like, uh-oh, that's not normal. And it's never done this before. And obviously I knew the Red Ring of Death was a thing. And it was like, turn it off, turn it on again, and it was like flashing red. I was like, ah, fuck. So that definitely got replaced by Microsoft. However, I was like, I want to play Halo 3 right now. So I went and bought another Xbox 360 straight away when that fucking thing red rings. And then I had 2 Xbox 360s for a time, a spare one. And then I
Which you
definitely
need.
bought the black one. I reckon I bought 2 of the black ones as well. Not because one of them broke.
Oh,
I just
really?
reckon I had 2 of them in 2 different rooms. Because fuck it, they were just great, weren't they? It was just like,
Yeah.
oh, it was like a you could. That was when the apps, video playing apps and shit started to come out, stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I've completely forgotten to mention I have two of the white ones here. So yeah, for somewhere along the line I bought a second one to run alongside.
Yeah.
I think it was I bought one, yeah, for the other, for one for upstairs and one for
Yeah.
downstairs.
Yeah. But yeah, that was an awesome machine.
I'll
And I
give props.
definitely like. There's people on my friends. I don't talk to them anymore. But I guess that was the start of things like the veteran gamers and stuff like that, isn't it? That's where it came from, Xbox 360 and shit like that. It's
Yeah, for sure. You know, all the
like
history
people
that we
random
have.
talking to randoms that you suddenly get along with. You find
But
these
yeah,
people.
oh, totally. Like the depth of community that we have. It certainly starts in the Xbox 360 era. For me, anyway, I can't see how it
People were
wouldn't.
doing
Right,
that
as
stuff on
soon as
PC,
you were,
weren't they? But it just became so much easier with the Xbox 360. It was just like, just plug it in. If you and then like broadband came out at the same kind of time, they were just fucking on it, Microsoft, right back then, because the OG Xbox had Ethernet cable, didn't it? It didn't have a modem in it, or did it have a modem in it, or something random? And that was
uh,
sort of just on the cusp of when before broadband was the Xbox
yeah, I
OG.
think I was Halo 2 on dial-up. You know.
Yeah, I think it was. And could you plug a modem straight into the Xbox or something like that? I fucking can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, when then broadband, it launched just at the fucking right time when loads of people started getting broadband.
Well, and high def, and they
Yeah,
were at
yeah,
the at the start of
HDTVs.
high HD as well, right? So everything looked amazing. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just brilliant. And Xbox Live worked, right?
yes, yes. Worked better than it ever has done since.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 360 they
Favorite
probably
game? I can see a lot of good games in here. Grand
he's got
Theft
a lot
Auto
of good games.
4 and
Yeah, I did
Liberty
look at the
City.
photographs. I'm going to just give some props to two of them that I saw. One is Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is
Never
an
played it.
brilliant, underrated gem. Nice little
What's his face in it?
story.
What's his name?
Andy
Yeah,
Serkis.
that's the one.
Uh, yeah, it's good. That's a really good game. And Vanquish as well, which
Oh, I did
is,
like Vanquish.
yeah, Vanquished, for those who know, Platinum,
You had to
wasn't it?
smoke
Platinum
cigarettes to
game.
gain health, didn't you, or something stupid?
I don't know,
It's
but he was
fucking
just running.
bad shit.
Generally, you're just sliding around a lot, shooting
Yeah.
things. It's good fun.
Bioshock. There's some absolute killer games came out in that
Yeah,
era.
there's some belters in there, typical flavors that everybody loves.
Yeah, played a lot of games in that era. Call of Duty
Me,
2, I played a lot of that.
yes, yes, played quite a bit of that. Not as much as Call of Duty 4,
No,
but
obviously, me and my mate used to play up all fucking night playing Call of Duty 4, and he definitely met a friend in the States that we'd made friends with on the Xbox 360 playing Call of Duty 4.
nice,
Yeah. So,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
real life meetings of people that you meet up on the Xbox 360. Total game changer.
Yep. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Derek. Much appreciated. Chipper
No
Spice
ribbing of
says,
pictures tonight.
no, not tonight. Chipper Spice says, watching the Olympics opening ceremonies. Anyone excited about the games? Any particular events you're planning on watching? This, of course, was posted in our Discord. Opened up a discussion with me saying I was going to watch the women's soccer. LOL. A couple of discussions about Canadians cheating and
Is it
shameful acts.
cheating?
And
I don't think it is.
you're very forgiving if you are. I think it's pretty shameful. I mean, you should.
If
At
they've
what
made it,
point?
it's quite easy to do that. Everyone can get a drone, like apparently they've
Yeah,
been
but
using to watch
well,
everyone's
everyone,
training sessions.
right? Just because everyone can doesn't mean everyone should. I mean, as a Canadian in here, honestly, I'm embarrassed.
Well,
It's
this is how you
just
got good. This is why your men's team did good in the Copa America.
well,
Because it's not just the women's team, apparently.
wow. Yeah. Anyway, I think there's going to be
Read
a bit of
more on
digging around on that.
theathletic.com.
Yes,
But spying on other teams is not a new thing.
it's not a new thing. It doesn't make it okay,
What's wrong with it?
mate. Have you? Where's your moral compass?
It's fucking football. Who cares?
Yeah, that's true. Um, are you excited about any particular events?
I guess not really. I'm not a massive fan of most of the Olympic stuff. You watching the breakdancing? That'd be interesting.
No, I watched. It's funny you say that because I said that to my wife this morning. I said, "Are you watching the breaking?" And then I think I rolled my eyes and walked out.
So did she.
But then, the more I thought about it, it was like, well,
When was the last time
I
you saw
probably,
Olympic class breakdancing?
I don't know. I don't know if
Probably
I've ever
never.
seen a. I don't know if I've ever seen Olympic class breakdancing. But I did sort of stop and go, you know what? As I talk to myself, as I usually do most mornings, I said, you know what, Fraser? I
You
mean,
should watch that.
breakdancing is probably more relevant to you than someone waving around a
A ribbon
piece of
gymnastics.
a ribbon
Throwing a
and
ball around.
throwing a ball around. You got it, Neil. You know exactly what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. You're just finishing my sandwiches for me. Um, yeah. So I don't know. Am I looking forward to anything?
Bit of BMXing.
I don't know.
That's usually good for some massive crashes.
No, you know what I'll do is just it'll be nice though. We've just got the we just put an app on the Roku or whatever so we can watch the Olympics, and I think it's just going to be nice that I at some points when I finally when I find myself with bored and nothing to do, I can pop the Olympics on for half an hour or 2 hour an hour and see what's going on.
I
So
do tend to. It depends who's wants the home interest. Where's the home interest in terms of is anyone actually good at the sports? Are we likely to win something? That's when it comes. Athletics is the big draw, I guess. Still,
I think athletics Canada could probably Canada no doubt has a couple of
any cheats in?
runners
Oh, you
in a
have a bit
few.
of a history of cheating, don't
Actually,
you? You know, when you think about it
yeah,
at the Olympics.
yeah. I'm best
See,
not open my mouth
yeah,
anymore.
exactly. See, that's why I said not very Canadian. Is it, or is it?
Did I tell you I saw an Olympic sprinter the other day?
What?
Was it
A
Donovan
discredited?
Bailey?
Oh, Donovan, he's Jamaican, isn't
Wasn't he
he?
Canadian?
Donovan Bailey. That sounds Jamaican. I'm sure he's Jamaican. I might be completely wrong, but
Yeah.
it feels like he's Jamaican.
Could see how wowed I was. I don't know who he was anyway.
Ben Johnson, Sumi's in the chat still. He said, "Didn't Ben Johnson win gold?" Lol. I'm like, yeah, that's what like referring to the cheating. History
Ben
of cheating.
Johnson ran like he was fueled by something else.
Yes, and turns out he was.
turns out he absolutely was. I sort of met him as well.
Did you?
We went to a race meet and he raced, and for some bizarre
Were
reason
you
at the end of the
racing
race
against
meet,
Ben Johnson?
for some reason, once I met him at the finish line. No, but for some bizarre reason, after he finished running, we were able to get up close to him and just sort of say hello to him and stuff. So I don't remember what track meet it was. Maybe just some sort of
Was this
local practice thing.
pre or post Olympics? And subsequent shame.
Yeah, it was 87. So when is that? Was that
Oh, fuck
post
knows.
shame? I think
I
that was
have no idea.
pre-shame.
Is it? There was something. There was a picture on the BBC website because I like to go to the bbc.co.uk for my news and everything else. And there was a picture of Linford Christie, and I can't remember what they said. It sounded like he's had a bit of a rough time of it. I didn't read the story, but a guy looking old. Linford Christie, quite famous for his lunchbox.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, sorry, I was just double checking. It was Donovan Bailey. He is Jamaican Canadian.
Oh, is he? But he runs for
yeah.
Jamaica, I'm sure.
Represents Canada in athletics.
Since when? I swear he reckon ran for Jamaica.
I don't know. Sorry, go.
It's because of Usain Bolt. He was like, "Fuck this for a laugh. I'm never going to win anything while he's running. I'm going to be Canadian."
I can't read. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I might as well be the top Canadian sprinter. Yeah. I'm not going to be the top Jamaican sprinter.
No, not while Usain Bolt's around.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, we're out of the fucking archery already before it even starts. Apparently, the Brits.
Yeah, that's not very good.
I thought we was good. So we used to be good at shooting. That's a bit fucking boring.
We used to be good at archery, didn't you, back in the day? And I mean, really.
Well, we're like really old. Like back in the 1400s.
Really back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know. What else is? I'm not really bothered about fucking tennis. I hate tennis. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate tennis. I just really don't like watching tennis. It's fucking boring. But I like Andy Murray as a person. I think he's cool. He's funny.
All right. Isn't he Scottish?
Yeah, he's funny though. He's very dry.
Not that that's a problem for our Scottish listeners. Oh, no. Remember, my name's Fraser. It doesn't get more Scottish than that.
No, definitely not. Doesn't wear any underwear either, allegedly. But yeah, I guess I'll watch some of it. I don't know. It depends if any. What else? What's likely to get exciting? I don't know. It's always the athletics, isn't it?
I quite like some of the track running. You know,
But
a
I
good
only really
race,
like the
not too
sprints.
long.
Every fucking 10K, it's like, fucking get on with it, mate. This is boring. It's
Oh well,
like,
a 10K is
you
too
might as well
much,
just tune in
too
for the
long.
last lap.
But a 400 meter, I think 4 and 800 meters is about right. I think. Do
Yeah,
you think?
400's good. 400. That's a fucking. Do you ever run the 400? Obviously, I guess you attempted it a couple of times at school. But
Yeah, I
did
would
you
have
ever
done the
get pushed
400.
into it like, you should do this? I definitely got like a, you're quite quick at this. You should do this for the school. I was like, don't know. It's quite hard work. And I really feel like I'm dying by the end of it.
I'm not enjoying this.
I got convinced to go to a school athletics meet and represent for the 400 metres when I
Nice.
was about, what was that, middle of middle school? Like towards the end of middle school. So I guess about 10, 11 or 12. And we went to the out of town meet, like where obviously you meet all the freakishly large people. It's like, what are these fuckers doing? They're all like blokes. So I finished a good 100 meters behind everybody else.
All right.
In the 400s, like
You
still running, like
encountered the.
run my personal best and be fucking miles behind everybody else.
Yeah, right.
It's like, you fucking
well.
wankers! What did you make me do that for?
You
You
embarrassed me.
totally fucking embarrassed me in front of hundreds of people.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
This is the when the what do they say? Like
this is how you
when the
become.
supervillain was born.
You become hardened, yeah. Oh my god.
All right.
Baron von Glow in the chat says, evening guys, Ben Johnson did an advert for an energy drink called Cheetah.
Yeah,
As
he
in
did.
the animal.
Yeah,
The
that's
tag
right.
was
Yeah,
the tagline was I cheetah all the time. He has no shame, that guy.
he had no money.
Well, you don't earn money for athletics in those days. Only through sponsorship. From Lucasade Sport or
I
whatever.
do remember the track meet there. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I mean, you don't. If you had money, you probably wouldn't be rushing to advertise a drink that
No, that
plays on the fact
totally.
that you're a
Yeah.
cheater.
Yeah, wow,
I
that's
mean,
bad.
it's a bit rough.
I think he probably regrets that decision at the end in the long term.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that, Chipper. Much appreciated. Let's move on to what we've been doing then. I'm going to just go straight to you, Neil, because I don't know what that word is that you've got.
Displates.
Yeah.
Have you not heard of displates?
No.
They are postery type things, but they're made of metal. So, you know, like I bought 3 displates because there was a promotion on them. So I bought.
They go on magnets on your wall.
You basically stick a magnet to the wall and then it sticks to the magnet.
Yeah, I know. I remember these because Sean bought some.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What did he get?
I think he had superhero ones.
Oh, I've got Millennia from Elden Ring because she's iconic for sure.
Oh my god, the level of nerd is unbelievable.
It's true, isn't it? And I got Lodran, the fucking Knight, Astoria Knight Light from Dark Souls.
I mean, at this point,
I've played a lot of those fucking games.
That's all right. Buy what
There's
you
a
like,
lot
man.
of stuff that's also available on there.
Okay.
Just general art type stuff, but they're
That could
really
be
cool.
anything, right? Yeah.
So like, you get like a square sticker that you stick on the wall after a little wipe to clean the wall, and then the magnet sticks on the sticker, and then it's just like you can put it on. But the good thing about these is you can keep just like infinitely moving it so that it's perfectly level if you've got 2 or 3 of them in the same space. It doesn't have to get all of the mounts in the right line because you can move the posters and they just literally stick like a magnet on a magnet.
It's made of metal. Why? They seem, well, I'm guessing they're popular over in Europe.
They are made in Poland. They came from Poland. They were made in Poland and shipped from Poland. I didn't know that when I ordered them, but they came perfectly packaged, non-destroyed. I bought my boy one, a Lamine Yamal one, the footballer from Spain, the young kid, because I saw the picture and I was like, that is an iconic picture. And I don't know how they've managed to get that done so quick and it be allowed, because it's the goal, like a picture of him, like that goal against France in the Euros, where he basically announces himself onto the world stage. And I'm like, like you didn't know who that guy was already. Now everyone fucking knows that guy. I'm like, how have they managed to get the rights to this picture? I'm like, I'm fucking buying that while I can because it'll probably get fucking taken down. So we've got a picture of him like in his Spain kit, and you can see he's looking at the ball as it's flying towards the goal. You'll see it from like behind the goal. And I was like,
Right.
that is a cool image, and I'm not sure that's going to be available for that long without someone going, no, you can't have this. So we bought that because we'll see.
Okay.
There's loads of stuff. There's sports stuff, video game stuff, just general art stuff, comics and video and like Marvel and all that sort of shit. Whether any of it's legit or not, I don't know. But like the Millennia picture, particularly, I was like, that's literally just ripped from the fucking game. It's exactly the same image that's in the game at high res. I'm like, and it looks cool. You can get them in like matte or gloss finish, and then there's this new. You pay extra for a textured finish, but they're very nicely made, and they all look very good for so far. So, not mega expensive, and they do limited edition stuff every now and again, which you have to be a member for and stuff, but they cost a bit more.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
some artwork that doesn't look
Wow, look
total
at you.
shit. They're up on my wall behind me, above my TV. So
Can't see it because
in
you
my
got
nerd corner. Yeah, it's not in the pub.
background on. No.
But yeah, I'm not showing them on because the rest of the fucking room behind me is a shitter. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with the quality for sure.
Oh, well, that's good.
And they weren't, like I say, there was like 40 quid each, but I had code to reduce them by a third or whatever. So if you buy so many, it was cheap. I was like, all right, well, let's see what they like, and they were good.
Nice. All right. I can go next if you like.
Go on then.
We can go back and forth. We went to the races on Sunday, which I think I told you we were going to. We had just suggested to friends that we go down. Pretty much just a standard. Actually, it wasn't sort of a standard race day. There was a. I can't even remember the name of some race for
Yeah, you were
$500,000.
going. You did say something. I can't remember what they called it. Then.
King's Oak, I think it was called, or something like that. But yeah, it was all right. We got there. At first, we only had seats in the bandstand, and I put my name down for a table at the Stella Artois Lounge, which was fully booked, and didn't think anything of it. But yeah, she said, "Oh, you don't want to put your name down for in case we get in case something comes free." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Just opportunity. You might as well try." And then lo and behold, just like honestly, we're getting to the point. It was sort of midway through the afternoon. And it was like nothing to eat there.
Really?
There was. There was.
Burger stands.
But they were dirty stands, huge queues, and insanely expensive. And I was like, this isn't filling me with joy here. And I was like, this is not good because everyone was sort of getting hungry. And then suddenly my phone rings. I go, Mr. Moores, we've got a table for you in the Stella Artois Lounge. And we went in there. Beautiful table overlooking. We had like pretty much 6 or 7 races overlooking. Everyone got drinks, burgers and fries to the table. It was just great. It ended up being a really, really nice. Yeah, that made it. That table call was just that sorted it right out. We had a great time.
Christian says the wife beater lounge.
Yes, the wife beater lounge indeed. Well, it's quite funny. My wife, funny enough, my wife said I wanted a drink, so I went off.
Did you have to get a Stella?
Well, no, I didn't have to because this was before we were in the Stella Lounge, and I think my buddy got him and his wife, or him and his partner. I can't even remember what he got. Something normal beerian, but I had to get they got beers or whatever it was. I can't remember. It wasn't wife beaters or anything like that. Something a little bit sensible. And then the lady's like, "What would you like?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll have a pint of Stella, please." And I'm like, "Let me just give this pint of Stella to my wife and see what happens." Totally made the afternoon. She was just well on her way after a pint of Stella.
Do you have old school Stella in Canada, which is still like over 5%?
Yeah.
Because they've wussed out Stella over here. It's only 4.5%. It's like everyone still buys fucking loads of Stella like it's the drink. I'm like, Stella tastes shit now because it's not Stella anymore. It's like,
why did they reduce it then?
Because people used to beat their wives up. I don't know. There's people over here.
I'm pretty sure it was still 5%. I mean, anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure it used to be back in the day. You used to get fucked up on Stella because it was 5.2%, and now you buy it in the shop, it's 4.5%. It doesn't taste the same.
I don't know what to tell you, mate.
Fucking shit these days.
Sorry about
so
that.
I don't drink Stella. That's why I'm on the Estrella, like Marco Correa. Did you see the video of
Anyway,
Mark
so
Correa singing the Australia song?
no,
He was fucking. I think he'd been had a few Australias.
fair enough. Uh, Betting wise, we did all right.
Good.
Started off a little bit ropey, but we had one race where there was an outright favorite, 5-2 or something like that, and no
That's
one
a
else was
generous
close.
favourite. 5-2.
Pretty sure it was 5-2. I think we got the odds on early before it shifted a bit too. So we had him down to win, and then we thought, well, we'll pick a second for place, and the second came in, so we had a 1 and 2 finish. That pretty much sorted out the day, you know.
Nice.
I think I ended up like $20 down on the day.
That's all right.
You know,
What,
for a
including
day.
like what you spent out on drinks and food and stuff?
No,
No.
no, no. Believe me, the Stella Artois bar certainly served up its own its own present at the end.
Nice.
But that's okay.
Well, if you're paying for
It was a
proper
good
Stella,
day.
that's fine. Not
It was
English
nice. It was
Stella.
a really nice day out. So
Oh, well,
yeah, it was good. You
speaking
were off
of,
winning stuff.
were we?
Oh, I don't know.
We went
Were
to
you?
the quiz last night down the
I
boot.
saw pictures
Oh, did you?
on the Book of Faces.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I didn't see that because I don't go on the Book of Faces.
But there were two pictures. There was a picture of your family and a picture of somebody else's group.
Yeah, so there's the quiz, which we did not win because we came fifth or sixth in the quiz. But I have said this before. They do like a bonus question after the quiz, which if no one gets it, they roll over the prize to the next one. And we won that, which was £163. Not too shabby for a night down the
That
pub.
is not too shabby at all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right. Well done.
So what the crack was, one of the rounds in the quiz was they played a tune and you had to name the artist. We've got one of this is where we played our Joker, and there were nine things that you had to name, and the 10th question was what's the link between all of them. So the first one was T-Rex. The second one, he said was David Bowie, Under Pressure. I was like, it's Queen and David Bowie, surely. And he was like, Queen have done it and David Bowie. I was like, no, they did it together, didn't they? I'm going mad. That was them
David
together.
Bowie, did he do
it was
Under Pressure
Queen
with
and David Bowie. I'm sure it was the both of them at the same time. They definitely both sing on the song. The one I've heard is Freddie Mercury and David Bowie singing. Anyway, number 3. No, so yeah, no. Number 3 was Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer, classic. Number 4, I was like, I fucking don't know what this is. It was Silver Machine. I knew the song, and I was like, that sounds a bit like Ozzy Osbourne. I was just going to go Black Sabbath. I don't think it is, but I don't know. It was Hawkwind. I've never fucking really heard of them. I've heard of them, sort of. Never listened to any of their shit. Next one was Van Morrison. Then it was Curtis Mayfield. Then it was UB40. Then it was the Smiths. And then it was Echo and the Bunnymen. Got all of these right, apart from Hawkwind.
Who's Curtis Mayfield? What was that one?
Curtis Mayfield, Move On Up. That's an absolute classic.
I know the song. I could never have told you.
Stone cold classic, that is.
I could never have told you who sang
that.
it.
That's an all-timer. One of the best songs ever, as far as I can
tell. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's a good one.
Anyway, so the link was they all headlined Glastonbury. I fucking got that wrong as well. I said they didn't play Glastonbury. Like everyone was like, "I'll just fucking do something different." So then the bonus question was, in which order did they appear at Glastonbury? We fucking nailed it. I fucking nailed it. I just went one. Must have been T-Rex. Da 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 da. Put it in. We were one of the first ones in, and then they go on. Whoever it is has got the right answer. They didn't write their name on the list, and I was like, "Fuck! I don't think Lou wrote our name on the list, our name on the piece of paper, so it could be us." And he's like, "But don't worry, I know who it is. It's us, the Winchesters," because I was wearing my Winchesters t-shirt, so that's why we're called the Winchesters. And I was like, "Fucking come on, yes, woo! £160, nice."
Very nice.
It's more than the quiz winners one.
Yeah, that's super good.
And they were like, I heard the guy go, "Look, we did all that work to win £100. They just come in at the end and fucking did this and they just guessed it and won." I was just like, "Yeah, mate, fucking guessed it. You say I guessed it, I fucking knew. I didn't know." But yeah, the swerve was Curtis Mayfield and UB40 played the same year.
Oh,
But so it didn't matter which way you put those two around because it would have been like. But I was like, Curtis Mayfield, that's old. But I was like, I
well,
don't reckon.
one of them must have gone on before the other.
Yeah, but anyway, he gave us it anyway, whatever it was.
Nice.
But yeah, it
Take
was
it.
in pretty
Onion
much the
run.
same order it came out, apart from a couple of them were switched around. And I just happened to get them right.
Nice.
So that was nice. So next month, it's not worth winning the big bonus one after because it'll be back down to Shuttle.
Yeah, you leave that
No
one.
rollover. Yeah, we'll let it build up a bit before we go in and go and win that one again. But it was packed. There was like 80 odd 90 people in the quiz. Fucking rammed.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it was
that's
a good old pies pot for the quiz and the bonus after. But yeah, really like the quiz up there. The Boot in Salisbury. Not that anyone else who's listening to this is anywhere near there probably, but recommend it as a place. There are other quiz location. The Hare is closed. They've shut
Oh,
the pub.
but closed
They've
to shut.
left.
Have they shuttered it?
Left the pub. The people who are running the pub have fucked off. They've gone. The pub is shut. Don't know what's happening. Whether someone else is going to come in and they're going to reopen
The one you
it.
took me to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably hadn't been cleaned since we went there. Maybe that's why it's shut. I don't know. But yeah, it was okay once a month. But my wife went down on Sunday and they were like, there was no booze left. And they were just drinking their own drinks and ordering curries in and stuff and saying goodbye.
Oh, right.
Right.
Oh, they didn't just close up and disappear.
No. Didn't do it like a runner.
No,
they may have done a runner. I don't know, but the people knew that was shutting. So, and there's another pub nearby which we don't go to, which is also shutting. Turns out pub business doesn't seem like it's that great anymore.
The pub business is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
These days, yeah. All right, well done. I have I've got dog written down here, just typical. I mean, it's been a while since we had a dog eating story. Not that we've been eating dogs, but
What's your dog eating?
Well, so I went into the we've had like this tub of Quality Street we got at Christmas, right? You already know what he's eating.
Hopefully, there's only toffees left in there.
And it wasn't. It was closed, and
not for long.
And we just had left it up and whatever. Anyway, I was in the kitchen the other day and a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh, the quality, fancy some chocolate. I better, what? I'll check the Quality Street. When do they expire?" And I looked, and it said expires July 24. I'm like, "Well, that's this month."
Let's get cracking then.
Yeah, so we might as well eat them. So I opened them up. I had a couple. And my wife came home, and I said, "Oh, I've opened up the Quality Street." She was like, "Oh, good." And then she had a couple. Ate a few here. I had another handful the next day or whatever. But I would say it was more full than empty.
You can't.
Box.
How big a
and it's a
tin
proper
of Quality
tin,
Streets?
like a proper
tin. Is it actual metal tin?
Well, not anymore.
They're made out
Those
of
were the good old
now.
days. It's plastic now, yeah.
You can still buy metal ones.
I'm sure you could still pay for metal
they're
ones.
usually a bit bigger.
And more expensive, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, this was a good size of like I would say like the good size, same size as a metal tin.
I don't think they're as good as they used to be honest. But
no. And I was downstairs on the decks yesterday. I was the only one in the house playing away, doing a minimal set for anyone who gives a shit. And I was very pleased with it. And then I just, after about, a little while of mixing or whatever, I sort of had enough. Or did I car crash a mix? I think I car crashed a mix when, yeah. Okay,
you haven't uploaded this one to Mixcloud.
No, I didn't record it. I was just playing around. And I went upstairs, and then there's just empty Quality Street box on the floor. And I'm like, there's no way they got finished. I'm like, there's no way they got finished. The only thing that could have happened is Grace was worried about them melting or something and has taken them all and put them somewhere. And I went a quick look in the kitchen. I was like, that is not. I mean, I knew. Deep down, I knew.
Fuck.
I was like, for fuck's sake. But he ate every Quality Street in that box, wrappers and all. There was nothing except an empty shell of a container.
I'm surprised he didn't eat that.
And a guilty-looking dog on the side.
And then a very ill dog, maybe.
No, fine. He showed no ill effect.
Dogs are not supposed to eat chocolate.
They're not supposed to eat chocolate. They're not supposed to eat massive
I'm
tubs
not
of
funny. He's eating fucking all sorts of shit. So
I know. I was sitting there like, I gotta admit, I was a little bit on the more sort of wasted side, and I was like, this I could start to get, Probably normal people would have started to have panic attacks and called the vet, but because I've seen my dog eat like 12 Brillo pads and survive, I was just like, this is fucking nothing. And then I was like, well, all that plastic as well from all the wrappers, but it turns out Quality Street now have paper wrappers on all their stuff. So not all their
they're
stuff.
definitely they're uh, they decompose now. The
Yeah,
wrappers.
it's like a waxy paper or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like a starburst paper or something, So I wasn't too worried about that. Some of them do have metal papers. I saw nothing this morning when I took him out for a walk. My son took him out for a walk around lunchtime, and there was definitely silver foil in some of his poops. So he's fine. I honestly
Oh my
don't give a
god.
shit at this point. I'm just like, what? I had no concern over it whatsoever. I was more annoyed that the chocolates were gone. I knew
Eating.
he's
Well,
such a beast. He's such a wanker.
they only had
But
5 days to eat them, so he
but
was
at the
probably
same
like,
time,
"They're not going to eat these before the end of July. I'll eat them."
he's just he makes me laugh, man. I mean, it's just like I was annoyed, but I didn't. But and I made him know, and he knew. He
He was just like
knew he
there,
did.
sort of like big fucking grin on his face.
No,
They
no
were good,
grin. He
man.
had that.
They were good.
He had that look on his face. He goes, "I know. I know I've done bad, but And like I said, dog
But I
is gonna
liked it.
dog.
We was
Dog's
down
gonna
the
dog.
pub this evening. Just a couple of Guinnesses and a salt before the show. And we're in the garden because it's nice weather. It's been sunny-ish. Like it's not been fucking raining or it's not cold. Um, Loads of dogs in the pub garden. All their owners obviously had a couple too many sherbets. So the dogs are fucking loving it because they're just getting fed all the crisps and all of the shit. They're just like sitting there like,
Yeah,
oh, give me a scratch my belly, let me scratch my belly. And then I'm going to be like, give me a crisp.
yeah.
Give me a
Go on.
crisp. Give me a
Give
crisp,
us a
Dad.
fork scratching.
Yeah, so they were just getting fed all. And they were like, one of them was like, sitting there as good as gold. And it, like his dad was eating crisps. And he was just like, woof. Oh, yeah, I forgot to give you some crisps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Dogs were loving that when their owners are getting out a few sherbets. And they're just like getting all the fucking. There was pizzas going around earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of dogs just had a few slices of pizza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dog's gonna dog,
They
man.
fucking love it, don't they? They're
They
so
do.
cute, though. They're so cute. So
Oh man, it's the worst, right? It's because it's the one thing that's going to make them happy is giving them some food. That's the
some
problem. You
human
love them so
food?
much.
Yes, please. Have you seen the shit I normally have to eat?
So anyway,
Yes.
he's not dead.
Good.
He
And
wasn't even
when was
hyper.
this?
You would have thought a dog eats that much chocolate and toffee. I mean, he had them all, right? All of them, toffees and chocolates. But he
So
wasn't. He just went to sleep.
what's your
A big
favourite
grin on his
Quality
face.
Street?
Changes, but actually, I was enjoying before he ate them all. I was enjoying the orange ones,
Orange crisps or orange creams?
orange cream. I think.
You're a creamy guy.
Not really, not generally. Normally, I've preferred the green triangles the most, I
Oh, I don't
think.
like the green triangles.
Oh,
I like the
right.
toffee ones.
Yeah,
Toffee
toffees are good.
fingers. Toffee fingers are fucking. Oh,
There you go.
toffee fingers. They do it for me.
Right. Okay. Should we move on to what we've been playing then? We do have a
Oh.
fair list, even just between the pair of us.
Well, yeah, I have not played a lot of a few of these.
All right. Well, let's see what we got to get through. Do you want to start?
So, go on then. I'll talk about the lamest one first, shall I?
Go on then.
Fucking Call of Duty came to Xbox Game Pass, didn't it, this week?
Oh, did it?
So
Which
I thought it's
one?
Modern Warfare 3. I didn't finish Modern Warfare 1. I don't think I've played Modern Warfare 2 in terms of single players. I haven't played Modern Warfare 3 single player. I just jumped like a fucking glutton for punishment into the multiplayer.
All right.
Obviously, haven't got
Did
a
you get
fucking
wrecked?
Scooby about any of the maps because I haven't played it before. And loads of people obviously just buy this game and play nothing but COD all the time.
Is this a remake?
No, I don't know if it's a remake. They like Modern Warfare. The new Modern Warfare was completely different from the original Call of Duty 4. So
Yes.
it's called the same thing, but it's like the campaigns are completely fucking different as far as I know. But it has got Captain Price. He was in the original, but he's just doing different shit now. But yeah, I haven't even looked at the single player. But it's fucking cold, isn't it? Multiplayer is just the same old shit. Just run around. Time to kill is ridiculously quick. If you get hits on people, you're okay. But if they if they can run behind you and shoot at you, you're fucking dead. It's like, and like not knowing the maps at all, just constantly get a couple of kills, maybe if you're lucky. We were playing Hardline. Remember Hardline?
Yes.
So it's a bit like King of the Hill, I guess. Like
You can't really just casually stroll into COD though.
No, it's so fucking quick. And like I say, people have played like thousands of hours probably by now of this game. So it's a bit of a rude awakening jumping into COD multiplayer for sure. But I did get a few kills. It wasn't absolutely awful. But yeah, when you do die, it does suck. It's just like, got shot in the back again. Oh, got shot in the back again. Got shot in the back again.
Yep, again and again.
Oh, and again, got shot in the back. And there was definitely a point
game's
where
finished. I've lost 25. Been 3 kills, 25 deaths.
That wasn't that bad because I definitely ran round one corner, and it was like, oh, there's a guy that's just spawned in, and I'm pointing straight at him. He's dead. And then, oh, another one's just spawned in right next to him, and he's dead because I just shot him straight away. Until my magazine ran out, like 3 or 4 people just spawned in. They must have been fucking fuming. Because they were literally like spawn kills. I was like, oh, that was quite convenient. This has never happened to me before, that I've been the one doing that to someone else. It's definitely been on the other end of it a few times. Going, for fuck's sake, why do you keep spawning me somewhere when someone's shooting at me? But yeah, I guess it's like COD.
All right.
Don't know if it's like, I went to install it and it said 217 gigabytes. I was like, are you fucking kidding? 270 gigs. I don't think it was in the end, but because it's probably installed Warzone.
I think they're saying that.
I definitely played some Warzone as well. Played some Warzone.
But isn't it with the 200 gig or whatever, you need like 130 gig spare for the 130 gig download? They have to double it up.
No, it doesn't work like that on Xbox. It does that on the PlayStation for sure. You always need double what, or it used to. You need double what it said it was going to be, because it would download it and then uncompress it or whatever. It would do some weird shit. But yeah, I did play some Warzone and I absolutely sucked at solos Warzone. What really pissed me off though,
you need your teammates, your sealed teammates.
The last game I played of solo Warzone, I was like, you're running. It's like old school PUBG or whatever, but much quicker, and obviously, look at you with your specs on.
Sorry, my eyes are getting so bad now. I just want to see something clearly.
Anyway, yeah. So what happened was I got killed. There was literally like 2 guys running towards me. I'm like, we're playing fucking solos. Why are there 2 guys running at me, not shooting at each other at all? So I watched afterwards, and they were fucking talking to each other. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's solos. You're fucking not supposed to run around together as a fucking duo. So that pissed me off, and I fucking turned it off.
Billy no mates. Go get yourself some friends.
Yeah, well, it's like, go and play fucking duos if you've got mates. Don't be fucking running around in solos together.
Did you report
wankers? Fucking wankers. I couldn't fucking be asked to even find it. I was like, fuck it, just turned it off.
All right.
Is
that enough of
COD? I might uninstall it.
Of course you will. I'm going to play it.
But yeah, I guess it looks okay.
You might as well do another. I suppose I could do another one. I could do one. Shall I talk about... So I did go to my library finally. And I was going to the library to get Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I did get. And then I also saw on the shelf Resident Evil 4 Remake. And I was like, oh no! Now I've got 2 choices.
Oh no! Another good game?
This was good. This was good. But obviously there's no space for both of them. So I came home and so I fired up RE7, Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
Which one are you talking about here? You've said 2 and I don't know which one to get a video for.
Okay, I'm going to Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to talk about it for just a little bit. Because I did play it, not for very long. I think when I fired this up, when Stan had PS Plus, I fired this up and played it, and I didn't carry on playing it because I didn't feel I was going to put the time in. But certainly, there were other things I wanted to play. This is suffering the same fate. So I will say this: I fired up Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it looks to me like this game is pretty amazing. The CGI and the cutscenes and the opening and the style and everything is just, it blew me away. It was really, really good.
It definitely
I
looks
mean,
a
it's just,
much bigger, a big upgrade on the OG Final Fantasy VII and the Final
oh
Fantasy
man,
VII
man, yeah,
remaster we've had previously.
yeah. I mean, it's just honestly looking at it, I was just like, this is quite incredible what they've done. I was like very, very impressed. Um, and I wasn't overly, I couldn't totally remember like everything about the original, but there were certain things in the opening scenes in the, where it was like, oh yeah, okay, I
Did you
think I can
watch all the
just,
cutscenes?
I
Because
watched
I just
some of
had
the
to skip a massive section of this
I
video
watched
because it was just a huge long cutscene.
no, I watched most of them because it was interesting because I have a history with it and played it and whatever. I was interested in seeing it, and so it was pretty neat that the way, like, I didn't remember see how a lot of it fit in, but there was a lot of it you could see that they had. Like, there's a bit where she has the flowers or whatever and is holding
She,
them, and yeah, whatever her name is, right?
which one are we
Tifa,
talking?
is it?
Tifa.
Tifa, I think, and she's looking up at the camera and it pans back or whatever. I think I can just about barely remember that being blocky and janky and looking really crappy. And then, of course, they really know how to do people as well in CGI. Square Enix, I'd be hard pushed to find anyone who's doing better CGI in their game than that I can recall. It's really impressive, and then on top of that, the game is super impressive. Does it follow the same format? No, I spent what seems like the hours that I played it, the couple of hours maybe that I played it, trying to understand and figure out how this new mechanic works. So in the old
So is it
the
more
old
like,
game, it was total turn based in the original,
is this like
right?
Final Fantasy 60, 15, 16 kind of sort of,
Couldn't
it's
tell you.
real time action
This
gameplay?
was like that real time action gameplay, but there are still some
You
sort
get,
of cooldown periods and whatnot.
yeah, you get
And I
kind
got
of
to
like
admit,
specials.
I got all the way to what I would say was like a main sub boss, in the Mako reactor, and he kicked my ass. He has a force shield, and I couldn't figure out a way to do it. But I still didn't have the battle mechanics down properly. I don't totally understand them. I went off and I watched some videos, and I tried to understand things better, and I didn't really give it the attention that it deserved. And at this point, my arm was reaching over to put to put the Resident Evil 4 disc in instead, which is what
How
I
does
did.
that
So I
feel
had,
like putting discs in a thing?
yeah, it's bonkers. So I have to install them, right? So I had to
Yeah.
install them first. So put the disc in, install the data, go off, do something for half an hour, come back and whatever. And it's well, I don't think it was half an hour, but it
Probably
was definitely
slower
not.
now to put a disc in than wait for a download.
Uh, Probably not far off, you know. In all honesty, um, but yeah. So Final Fantasy VII looks awesome. I think it is awesome.
Are you going to play it? Because it's only another 90 odd hours to go.
There's a part of me that really would like to play it. I think what I will probably do is I will play Resident Evil 4, and then if I can go back to Final Fantasy 7, then I will.
How many weeks you allowed stuff out from the library?
Well, they're both there on the shelf, so I'm figuring people aren't really taking them out, so I can keep renewing them
Do you have to
until
go to
somebody.
the library to renew them?
No, no, of course not. This is the 21st century,
Well,
dude.
you know, it's Canada. Who knows?
I just fly my things in by drone, my request in by
Yeah.
drone. Um, so yeah, I'll just keep renewing them and see how we go.
There's
So
a lot of fucking game in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
yeah, I see. This is what I've understood as well, and so this doesn't help its cause.
The thing is, there's a lot of optional stuff, as from what I've heard. So
There's some
you
stuff
can
there's some
just
optional
kind of,
stuff you don't want to miss
like,
as
yeah,
well.
that's the problem. Is some of the optional stuff is actually good, but you just
I
avoid
already
all of the dross. maybe.
Yeah, I already started to sort of, have a quick peek at sort of Final Fantasy VII. The side quests you definitely shouldn't miss. There was one of
Yeah.
those that I was going to pay attention to. Um, and I think it's just a huge quality of life for the rest of the game. And I'm not going to deny myself that and whatever.
So a lot of video in this game.
I don't know. What I really want is for I just need it to hook me, right? It hasn't hooked me, and I don't understand why, and I don't. But once I think I understand that battle mechanic better, I think I'm in. But I don't understand it yet. I got to go back to it. Probably not going to be in the near future. Probably in a little, later on. So we'll see.
So
But
you reckon this could go back to the library before and then get taken out? I've
yeah,
had this installed on my PS5 for fucking ages, and I've never started it.
right. But again, what I really need to do is buy it. And so
It's
if
on
I don't,
sale. It's on sale at the minute.
it's
You
not
can
that
get
cheap though.
you can get remake and rebirth for, I think it's like fucking 70 quid
Yeah, it's not
on
cheap.
offer. But that is
Yeah, problem.
like a few $100 worth of video game
Oh, you're
potentially.
getting your money's worth out of those as long as you play them. And that's the problem, right? I got to make sure that I'm going to play them. So
Yeah.
I'll come back to that. I'll wait and see. But yeah, it looks amazing. Um, really, really cool from what I've seen so far. So yeah, we'll come back to that. Should I just go into RE4? No, actually,
No,
let's just jump
no,
out. No, let's go
no.
into one of yours. Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm
You.
going to talk about
Oh, you got it lined up, have you?
Helldivers 2,
Oh,
which is a game I needed a break from another game, which I've been playing a lot of lately. I was like, I got to a point in the other game where it's got a bit hard. So I was like, I'm just going to do something else for the evening, not do that game. But I'm still going to
okay.
talk about that in a little while, properly.
Of course.
So I was just like, well, I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. I'll just have a little look around the menu, played loads of Gran Turismo and all that as normal. But I was like, I haven't played Helldivers 2 in ages. I'm just going to boot that up. It's had a few updates. I keep seeing every time I turn my PS5 on, there's been an update to Helldivers 2. And I'm like,
Well, we did try and play it, didn't we?
Well, we did try and play it together. That did not on a play ball. So that was my first attempt to get back into Helldivers 2, which obviously we literally did not play a game. It was just about an hour of trying to join each other and not working.
It seems to be quite a common theme when you're not getting together.
So the other night I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play that and see how it is solo. And at first, it's like I didn't really give it much of a go when I first bought it. And obviously everyone was raving about it at the time, and it's kind of gone a bit quiet on the Helldivers front. But there's still clearly a good, healthy amount of people playing it. Because I just jumped in. Like, there's a big major order to kill loads of Terminids, which are the bugs at the moment. You've got the whole community has to kill. Is it a billion? A billion bugs to complete the war, the major order or whatever it is in the game.
How many bugs would you kill on a run?
Oh, fuck knows. I don't know.
Hundreds?
Maybe 100. I don't know. But between the four of you potentially that can be in a mission, probably you can get well over 100, maybe a couple of hundred, maybe even 3. I don't even fucking know. But I had a personal order to kill 200 with a machine gun. So obviously, like, one of the stratagems is a machine gun for me, because I'm at early days. Still, I haven't unlocked any fucking shit. So every time you complete one of these more minor and major orders, you get some medals. And I went in and I had like 250 medals to spend. And you spend the medals on the war bonds. Or on like the contents of the war bonds. War bonds are a bit like a battle pass kind of thing. Right. And there's like the first level of the war bond that you have to get to the second level of the war bond, you have to buy a certain amount or spend so many medals on the first level, and so on and so on. As the further you down, the more medals you have to spend to move to the next level of the war bond. There's a free one, and then there's ones you can pay real money for.
If you say so.
I'm doing the. I went like, fuck it, I'm just going to spend a load of shit. There's emotes. There's like new armor which has different perks. and there's like cards for your profile, or there's like the whatever the fucking paid for currency is in the game, you can unlock through these medals. And each level of the
Helicoins.
fucking can't remember what they're called. Freedom coins or something. I don't fucking know. It's SC.
Dive dollars.
It's something with an S. I can't remember what it's called. Probably fucking super coins. I don't know. But yeah, so I spent a load of my coin to unlock a load of shit. So I got some new armor to run around in, and you unlock weapons in this with this thing, with these medals as well. But I quickly got to the point where I didn't have enough medals to unlock the actual weapons, because there's like, you have to spend so much on each. You can't just get to the bottom level, just go weapon all the way down. You have to spend.
Oh,
It makes you spend to unlock the next tier below, sort of thing.
Right.
So
you can't have access to everything straight away.
No, but or in the paid for shop, there's different stuff. So I don't think there's any weapons, but there's definitely armor skins and stuff like that. You can just buy, like, when you go to the Valorant, any of these games, you go to a Valorant store and they'll be like, oh, you can buy like the weapon skin, whatever. They're skins, not actual unlocks for weapons.
Right.
So I just spent an evening playing Helldivers 2. Did 3 or 4 missions. And I was like, this is fine. This is fine. This is fun, almost. But it would be vastly improved by being able to talk to someone who I knew and didn't mind talking to, rather than just complete randoms who, most of the time, I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to find something I can just do on my own because I'm not that bothered. I was just going in at like medium, level 3 or whatever, because you can make it really hard. I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a difficulty level. And I'm still like, I managed to change my name, I was cadet, now I'm space cadet. I was like, yes, that seems appropriate from the old days. So that's what I am now. But yeah, I'd like to play for yourself, for example. Get together, maybe Dave and what have you. And but I am on PS5. If we were all on PC, it probably would be a lot easier. But it seems like the fucking friend code shit just was not playing ball the other day.
No, I didn't want to play ball. I don't know why. Right.
We'll see. Hopefully.
Did they release it on disc? Maybe I can get it from the library later.
Is it not on disc?
Probably. I have no idea. I don't know. Must be, right?
I don't know. Might not be. See, this is only a cheap game, so it's only a cheaper game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was only like a 2/3 normal price game. It's only 40 quid, I think. For the main game.
It's on disc.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. It's good. But
I heard it's good.
It would be better with people, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
And have a bit of a laugh, accidentally, on purpose, killing each other.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. RE4 then for me, which took over from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, this is like the one that you've suddenly invested some time in. I can see.
Yeah, so I definitely have invested time in this. I wasn't too sure whether I would, because I like Final Fantasy VII before it. I had fired up Resident Evil. Oh, had I bought this?
You played the demo,
I think I bought it. No.
There was the chainsaw level demo.
I know. I think I bought it,
You what? You bought Resident
Evil? I think I bought
Remake?
it and refunded it. Yeah, I think I bought it. On Steam. I think I bought it and refunded it. But anyway, I got back into it and played it, and really, actually, I got pissed off again with it. I think I was playing on normal mode, and because the first village, for those who've played it, those who know, right, the first major thing you do is get to the village, right, and everybody just everybody in the village wants to kill you, and then some guy with a chainsaw comes out, and he comes after you as well. And
but you can parry him with your knife. You can parry his chainsaw with your knife.
Oh, you can?
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt that, with enough practice, you can do that level, no problem. But it's always historically been a tough level, hard, usually takes a few goes. and you get to a point where you're like, how the fuck do I get through this? What do I have to do? And then it turns out it's timed, right? That's spoilers.
There's a bell that rings, isn't it?
Church bell rings, right?
When
So
everyone just fucks off.
yeah.
So is that literally
Uh,
you can't make the bell ring by doing something?
well, so I've heard that if you go into New Game Plus, you can go up into the church tower and then you can use a scoped sniper rifle to fire a shot at the bell, which can end the fight. There are a couple of ways to end I've looked online. There are a couple of ways to end the fight early. Anyway, I knocked it down to easy difficulty. I was just like, I just want to go through and see the game. I don't need to. I don't want to be held back here. I don't
Can you
want to
put it
put
back
tons of
up
hours
after
into
this
them.
bit?
I should do, but by now I've got used to the game mechanics better and stuff.
Is it different much to 3 and 2?
Sorry,
The
between what?
gameplay, but from the 2 and 3 remakes.
Not particularly. I don't think. There's nothing that sort of stands out in terms of gameplay to me that is much different. Oh, he's got a good sprint now. The sprint is way better, so you can motor it through. I mean, his sprint was okay before. I mean, it's still typical.
Which
You know,
one's this? This is
if
the
you're,
same guy that's in 2.
this is Leon, and
Yeah,
you have
so
to
he's in
rescue
2.
You have to rescue the president's daughter, right, from the whoever they are.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Anyway, it's all right. It's good.
Do you think you're going to finish it?
Yes, I'm enjoying it. So I'm enjoying running through on easy mode,
Looks
collecting
nice.
everything. Yeah. So really, I just wanted to see it, right? And so, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it properly then. What is the good thing? Why am I playing it more? Because if it was exactly the same as Resident Evil 4, would I continue playing it just because it looks prettier? Answer is probably not. But what they have done is they have really added in a ton of stuff. So there's loads of places that I'm going to, and I'm like, I recognize this from the old game, but the things I have to do are slightly different. You know, so in the old game there would be like things that you have to shoot or treasures that you can find. Things are all in different places, and they've altered the maps, and there are definitely places. They've added in tons of stuff, right? So there's places on the map that you can go to that definitely were not in the game, in the original game. So they've expanded it out. Somebody else was saying that they reckon the pacing is much better. So there's, you know, they keep throwing enough at you that it doesn't tend to get very boring in places. Perhaps I don't remember ever being like that.
I honestly can't
And
really remember Resident Evil 4 that much, I don't think.
yeah, I mean, I've played it so many times, and I always forget just how big a game it is. Actually, it always fools me. I always think, oh, I'm just going to go up this path and I'll be at the lake, which is a major part, but it's not. There's loads of places and things to do before you get there. But it's really cool, right? And there's another thing, right? When you go visit the merchant, usually by the merchant there's a blue poster, and then that is a task that you can take on board. So maybe like go find 3 snakes or kill 7 rats. And there's one where it was just like, oh, we've seen a rabid dog running around. Can you go find it and exterminate it? So I had to go back to places on the map and go look for it, and then fight this dog. And that's just really cool, right? I found myself, I think, playing it last night or the night before, where I switched out of just trying to mainline it. You know, my first hour and a half was trying to mainline it as quickly as possible. Let me just get through and see everything, and how quickly can I burn through on this easy mode. And then suddenly I realized at one point I was off doing things, and I was like, oh shit, I'm really in deep now. You know, I'm not even thinking about my original intention to just power through.
Does it
So
get to the
yeah,
point you're like, what was I supposed to be doing here again? I've just been fucking around for the last hour.
yeah, a little bit of that. I mean, it's so much of it is almost unrecognizable. It really is. They really have done a lot with it. So it's
I
more
was
of the
looking at
same.
Village the other day because Village is on sale on the
Village
PlayStation
is
for about
great.
13 quid or something. But I look at it and I'm like, yeah, it looks okay. It looks good. I know I'm going to be shit at it though. And it's going to frustrate the fuck out of me.
You,
Like 7. I was like,
I
played
think
7 again. I was like, oh my God, I'm so shit at this
I
game. I
think
can't fucking do it.
7 was yeah. I think certainly with 8, I highly recommend it, but I just highly recommend being thorough. And if you're thorough and look everywhere and turn over everything looking for, you know, just trying to complete everything. And they're very good, these Resident Evil, you know, they show everything on the map. I bought a treasure map or whatever, so I can see everything and make sure I'm not missing much. I'm sure I'm missing secrets, but what are you gonna do? The secrets, right?
I
Um,
really did like the 2 remake.
I think
'Cause
if you really liked 2 remake, you should just get in there and get in on
which one?
8 or
Well,
4.
I've
I would
got
say.
3 downloaded because that was part of it is part of PS Plus
Don't
Extra,
listen
and
to
it's
Mike
on Game
Chin,
Pass.
okay? Mike Chin knows nothing about video games. Resident Evil 3 is trash. There we go. I said it. Come at me, bro. It was all right, 3, I guess, but it
Three's
wasn't. I
fine,
don't remember.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
3 is
just it's
fine.
not as good as the others.
Fine's not good enough for Resident Evil though. Shouldn't be. 6 was fine. Shouldn't have been fine. It should have been great.
People didn't like 5 and 6.
5 is brilliant. Anyway, we've had this discussion. Resident Evil 4 remake, all right. I'm looking forward to
Have you
getting back on
played?
that.
Has this got mercenaries?
I
The multiplayer
haven't
mode?
noticed that.
This has got
That
the
was definitely
multiplayer.
an 8.
This isn't. Is it? I'm sure it's in 4 remake because 4
It could
remake
be.
comes out since 8. This is newer than 8, isn't it?
Yes. No.
Yeah. Yeah. This came
No.
out after Village.
Oh yeah, it might have done. Sorry, it was quite a while. Village is 2 years old now.
Yeah,
isn't
this
it?
is last year's game, I think, and they're
Right.
making another one apparently. Resident Evil
Okay.
9. I guess what that's going to be called.
Don't
So,
know.
yeah, they're remaking fucking Veronica X and all that shit apparently. So
Yeah, it's really good. It's really cool.
it's on. This is
Especially
on
for
sale as
mobile.
well, but it's a lot more expensive than the other. It's
Yeah.
£26, I think. 26 quid.
Ooh. It's worth it though. It's such a great game. But you have to be prepared for that Resident Evil 4 walking through treacle experience. If you can't handle that, then it's just going to drive you nuts. But once you give over to that and just let yourself go with the moving mechanic and you become
It's not as
comfortable with
bad
it,
as it was though back in the day, is it?
it's still not great. Still not brilliant. And you still have the Ashley follow stay mechanic, which isn't that great. But at no point on the easy anyway have I felt like, anything is a problem. I'm cruising through. No worries. Which I would say is not a bad way to do it. So I get familiar with it if I decide to go back and play normal or whatever. But
Hardcore.
you know the score.
Yes.
So, yep, that's RE4.
Okay. Let's probably wait by. What's up next? Right. Where do I go here? I'm going to have to talk about this one before I forget about anything about it. So I've been playing a game from Game Pass as well, which came out in the last 2 weeks,
Aye.
which is called Dungeons of Hinterberg,
Oh, yeah.
which I'd heard on some podcasts. It sounded okay. And you know what? Turns out it's okay.
Just okay. Big bag of okay.
Yeah, I'd say it's not gonna blow your mind, but it's okay. It is. Well, there's dungeons in Hinterberg. Hinterberg being a place in Austria, where
Okay.
the main character. Did they grow up there? I don't know. Maybe she's a lawyer in normal life, and is a bit fed up of just being a lawyer. So she goes to this Hinterberg place where, weirdly, magical dungeons have appeared. And these weird little monsters around town and in the mountains of Hinterberg. And it's become this weird tourist attraction where people come to kill monsters and go into dungeons and solve the puzzles to get out of the dungeons.
It looks very slick.
It is pretty slick. It's cell shaded. Looks like that how there's it's a very specific art style, and I fucking can't think. It's like when things are filled with dots, like print.
Yeah.
You can see the dots that make up the fucking color and stuff like that. I can't. There is a name for that. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But it's that in the sort of detail of the colors, and then all the characters are like cell shaded. They've got the black outlines around all of the main parts of them, and they're all coloured in nice and everything. They look super nice. It's all 3D when you're walking around, but it does a bit look like a comic strip brought to life.
Yeah, it really
And
does.
yeah, it really does. Um, so you basically got it's fairly basic combat. You've got like a heavy attack and a light attack, and like I say, you this like she's come to do the holiday thing that all these people are coming to the Hinterberg to do, which is go in the dungeons and fucking kill all these monsters and find a way out of the dungeons. And there's like I don't know how many dungeons there are. I've only done 3 or 4, but like you have to find your way to each dungeon, and on the way to the dungeons you might encounter these monsters on the way there. You can sometimes wake your way around them. There's weird shit that happens which has altered the world, which you need to put it right before you can traverse to the dungeons or whatever on the way there. So even when you're on the way to somewhere, there's always stuff to do. So we're watching a video. This guy Klaus, he's like your tutor. That you come along, and the first mission you do, the tutorial. This guy Klaus is walking you through. It tells you exactly what to do. And then when you go into the first dungeon, weird shit starts happening. There's like these fucking earthquakes, and he's like, "This is not normal. I'm supposed to be with you, but I can't get to you." And you basically got to do the dungeon yourself. And at the end of each dungeon, you have to get your book stamped, otherwise the door doesn't open to let you out. So it's just like a fucking tourist attraction. But it's all right. It's like there's clearly some stuff I haven't really got to see properly, because you're having conversations with people in between. Like you'll meet like this guy Klaus, you have conversation, you'll have a dialogue options and stuff like that, and then when you finish the dungeons, you go to town, and you'll meet this woman. I can't remember what her name is now, but you'll have a conversation with her, and you've got choices to make with the conversations. Some of them I don't think are major in terms of changing anything that's going to happen, just how you want to react to people. But it does. There is a definitely like a during each day you can do one dungeon, and then you go to spend time with some people. You have to go to the shops to buy more gear for your next day's dungeon trip. So you buy like maybe new weapons or new armor and stuff like that. I don't
Like upgraded armor and stuff.
upgraded armor with better stats. I don't think you look any different. Well, I haven't noticed anything, but maybe you do. I don't know. I haven't noticed that my what I'm wearing is changing, but I've definitely got like better defense or better attack and things like that, or magic defense and magic attack. And you like as you go, I'm still very early because like I've literally learned some magic. So when you're in there's like the mountains are split up into several zones, and each zone has like, well, so far 2 magic spells that you use. I've only done the one zone so far, so I have a magic like ball on a chain, which I can throw out in front of me, and it acts as a weapon against monsters. Like you throw it out with RB or whatever R1, and then you press it again, and it'll put it back into you. So it'll go through things potentially like monsters, and when you put it back, it'll do like extra attacks and maybe knock them over and
Like
stuff like
pulling
that.
an arrow out, right?
Yeah, you can like go up and smash them up while you've knocked them over and stuff like that. And then another one is like you drop this giant ball, which is an explosive. So you drop it with L1, it lands. You can't. It can only got a very short distance. You can drop it in front of you, but maybe while it's there, you can push it around because it's a ball, and then you press L1 again or whatever, and it explodes, which does damage to monsters, but also in some of the dungeons will blow up like a chunk of rock so that you can get to a point that you couldn't get to before. But it may be you can see there's a chunk of rock that you've got to blow up, but you can't drop because you could only got a certain range of the thing that you can drop. You might need to do something to be able to drop the ball in the right place to blow up the rock so that you can then go around the corner and fucking get past where you need to go to the next point in the dungeon. So there's like puzzles and killing the monsters. But yeah, one of the dialogue options is very early in the game is they're telling you about all these monsters that are thing. And one of the options is, are the monsters sentient? And you're like, it's a bit of a weird thing to ask, isn't it? But so initially they're like, no. They've done all these tests and they don't think or anything. And I'm like, this is clearly going to be go somewhere, I guess, later on in the game.
Oh,
Like all
yeah,
of a sudden, you're going to feel bad about killing all these monsters. I don't
of course.
know. So yeah,
Wouldn't be saying
it's
otherwise.
it's pretty good. It's worth a play.
Okay.
It's worth a
Where did
play.
you say you were playing this?
This is on. I'm playing this on PC Game Pass,
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I
but
can have a go
I
then.
think it's on Xbox as well. I
Right.
assume it's on Xbox as well, but it is available to purchase elsewhere, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah, it's on Steam, but
it
yeah.
looks cool, and it's fairly simple mechanically so far. And there's the puzzles so far they're all right. It's like they're not. It definitely made me think about what I needed to do without being really tricky. It was like, I know what I need to do. I've got to work out how I've got to do it. So it's all right. It's pretty cool. So
All right.
Dungeons for Hinterberg. It's definitely verging towards a thumbs up so far for a game that's on Game
Definitely
Pass.
verging towards a check it
It's
out.
definitely a check it out. Maybe
All
even
right.
good.
Okay. That reminds me, I finished that Agent A.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So there we go. I have a completion under my belt.
nice. First one of the
Yeah.
year. About
Probably.
halfway through.
All right.
And what
Do
was that then? Was
you
that
want
a
to
buy
move
it
on
for
to another?
90% off, or
I think it will cost me like 90 cents or $1 or something. I don't know. It's well worth it.
what have I got next?
You got
Okay, I've got
2 left.
yeah. So Gran Turismo had a big update this week. So there was new cars, largely, and a new track, which is an old track from the OG Gran Turismo, I believe. Idevald. I can't really remember original Gran Turismo. It's been
Too long.
7 or 8 iterations,
Doesn't matter how long
including
it's been.
sports. A long
Too
fucking
long.
time. Yeah. So what was that? PS1? PS1?
Oh,
Gran
yeah.
Turismo?
For sure.
So yeah, but what they have done, apparently, is update the physics in several ways in the game. I have not noticed it, honestly. It still feels very much like Gran Turismo, but there's probably some fine tuning that they've done with. They've done more detailed simulation of suspension and tire physics, apparently. I think it is, and largely is
I'm
the main.
guessing they would have to be very careful in what they tweet,
Oh
right?
yeah. I don't want to make huge changes, but I don't think because obviously be like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, I'm either like 20 seconds slower a lap or whatever, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. There's more Gran Turismo. There's the cars. They've got some cool cars in it that have come out. The Subaru Impreza, which has actually got Colin McRae's name on it, so that's obviously like a bit of history, I guess.
Of course.
I definitely remember watching a lot of rallying when Colin McRae was driving that Subaru Impreza, and that car sounds fucking great when you're driving it around. Yeah, the engine sounds on that, the exhaust notes and everything. It's like that sounds fucking cool.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds like a rally car. Loads of pops and cracks and booms. It's great. Fucking awesome. What else did they bring out? A Lambo. Bit boring. What else? I bought some other cars. Oh, there's a Ferrari, but there's new time trials, etc., etc., and all normal stuff. So the rest of it, just plodding along with the Gran Turismo. Still playing it. Not every day. Most days. I'm playing like half an hour to an hour. Because it's fucking good. It's a fucking good game. And it's got like, it's had fucking loads of updates since it first. I mean, when it first came out, it was a bit of a, it's all right, but there's all these problems. And I don't think like some of them are still there. I guess is the economy is a bit of a bummer because you always seem to be a bit poor unless you're playing it 24/7, like trying to rack up cash. There's probably a point.
Any loopholes yet?
Oh, there is, but if you read them, I'm like, it's like do this, do that. I'm like, I can't be fucking bothered. I just want to drive a fucking car for an hour and earn a load of money, right. Which apparently doesn't appear to be the case. Without it being extremely boring. So why would I want to do that just to earn some coin? I'd be like, I'd rather have fun while I'm doing the earning. So it's all right. It's fine. And it's just the racing, like, is the key. It's like it's arcadey enough, but it's way more fine than like Forza. So was it what were we on? Forza Motorsport, whatever that one. 8, I guess it was the last one, wasn't it? But it wasn't called 8. It definitely feels more simmy than that. Forza was a good racing game, a lot of fun, and you could just go in,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you could really make it quite easy. I guess you can with Gran Turismo as well, but when you start taking all of the assists off in Gran Turismo, it definitely feels like you really need to be on it, like
Right.
you're concentrating the whole time. So I really think I've done like 170 hours now on Gran Turismo
Oh
7 or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so I've had my
Yeah,
money's
that's fair
worth out of
enough. Yeah, that's a fair crack. Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's my most played game on PS5 for sure. But yeah, so if you like a racing game, I can recommend Gran Turismo 7.
All right. Okay. Um.
Uh,
Well,
so we've only
if
got one game each left.
yeah, so I've been playing Balatro, which isn't unusual, except I sort of got a real bug for it this week.
You might feel like
Um.
you've had a couple of weeks off,
Yeah, I
or
had a
we've
few
just not
weeks
been
off where I
talking
was
about it.
definitely playing less, and then what happens is I sometimes watch. I think I have the odd game here and there. And a lot of the times I'll just sort of like, oh, I think I'll play with this deck and just do a run and just do a run here. Or I think the other day I was just like, oh, I'll just do a run at lunchtime. And I use the Anaglyph deck. And so the Anaglyph deck, and I posted a picture of this, the Anaglyph deck gives you a free double tag after every boss you beat, every big blind or whatever they call. Um, and the tags are the things that when you skip, I mean, when we first started playing, probably like most people, I never saw any point in skipping, and I didn't think the rewards for skipping outweighed a round of making money and deck manipulation. So I didn't really pay much attention to the tags. But then I played the Anaglyph deck, and I was getting these double tags, and then plus I was skipping some stuff. Plus I was getting Diet Colas, which you can buy and sell and get another double tag. And so I was stacking these double tags and then redeeming them on the voucher shop, or I redeemed a load of them on the voucher shop. So I had like 7 vouchers, I think, in one shop. Then I redeemed about 5 or 6 double tags on negative jokers. So I had like an extra 5 or 6 jokers. And then I redeemed another 5 or 6 negative tags on vouchers again. I mean, I had tons of vouchers, and just made me super. I guess in a way I was super powerful, but in the end I wasn't super powerful because I still got slammed at 300 million, which
300 million.
yeah, I used to always get slammed at 7.5 million. That used to be all the point for ages where I just couldn't break that ceiling. And then I have got farther than that. But yeah, for some reason I just never got my deck. I couldn't take my deck to the next level. I got it to it was a perfectly honed deck if we were playing 200 around 150 200 million. But I couldn't when I suddenly needed to take it to the stratosphere. Like there is a point in Balatro which is around about I think that what is that, anti 10 or something like that, where you
Mm.
suddenly go from the 100,000s. I mean, if you've beaten anti 8, usually you're beating anti 8 with quite with spare in the bank. But like if you're beating 7 million and it takes you a couple of hands, unless you make some hugely drastic good picks, the difference between having to hit a 7 million blind and a 300 million blind is
It's a lot.
very different. It's a very big jump. Um, so yeah, anyway, 300. I didn't get it. I didn't sort my deck out in time, and like I just got slapped at 300 mil. But whatever, I didn't give a shit. It's
I
fine.
don't think I've
It's
ever
just,
got near 300 mil.
but I'm really enjoying. I'm not too worried about going far. I still haven't done a run where I've got an E number. I know how to do it, and I know what I want to do it to
There's that
achieve
many
it. But
jokers you had going the other day. I was like, look at that. That's just insane.
yeah, but the jokers aren't where it's at though, unless you've got. I mean, a lot of those jokers were shitty jokers. Like at least 3 or 4 of them. They're all negative commons, right? So they're not that great in a late game. But what I was doing, so I had the extra jokers, even though they were common jokers. So like like a common joker that will give you +4 malt, right? Which is late game is nothing. Like it's just it doesn't really help you. But I had gift card, which throws, I think it was gift card. Is it gift card? That adds an extra dollar of sell value to every Joker and consumable per round.
When you've got that many jokers.
Right. So that gift card became worth something like $12 every round, right? Every round that gift card was giving me $12. Plus it stacked all my jokers to the point where every temperance was a guaranteed 50. So, you start, I think a lot of the key to this game, or I'm thinking now, a lot of the key to the game is how do you take shit that doesn't appear on the surface to be helpful at all to actually turning it to your advantage, right? It's very much a case of how can I make good out of what I've got? And yeah, I don't know. I just still love it, man. It's just racking my brain, like just mincing my brain so much. It's so good.
Best game ever.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant.
Apart from Hunt, obviously.
No, it's not the best game ever. Best game ever is PUBG. We should do a best game ever list. Probably haven't done that for a while. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just playing more of that. Really enjoying it. I did some seeded runs. Oh, I got a seed. So I found a seed. Somebody posted a seed. I don't know when they posted, but I found it today. I was looking for I wanted to just quickly unlock something, and I didn't realize if you do seeded runs, you can't unlock them, which is fair enough. It makes
You
sense.
can't.
No, not with a
okay,
seeded
so-
run. But I got a seeded run today. I just played around with it earlier. It gives you a complete deck of tens of spades, nothing else. All
Wow.
tens of spades, and every joker is holographic, right? And so beating the game is a no-brainer. You just play flush fives right from the start. You just flush five, flush five, flush five all the way to the end. And you just
How do
need to
you
upgrade.
end up with like a deck? You have to do anything to manipulate the deck to get you tens, loads of tens of spades.
No, the seed just gives it to you.
What?
So
Are there random seeds that literally deal you weird cards then?
Yeah. So I don't know how people are doing this. How somebody found this seed, I have no idea. Obviously, someone has backward engineered something or whatever, or found like there's loads of cool seeds if you go looking for it. If you go into like the forums or whatever, somebody will say, "Oh, this seed is great." First anti shop has a spectral pack with a legendary joker in it, right? And you're like, "Oh, I've played that seed," because if you can play a seed and it gives you a per KO legendary joker first hand, why not just go play that seed and enjoy
What's
it?
the
Because
point of playing the seeds if you don't like get any long term benefit out of it, other than it just be fun for that run?
well, it'd just be fun for the run. That's pretty much it, right? Because you can go do stuff that you can't normally do, right? The chances of you getting a per KO, like a legendary
What the fuck is a per KO?
right? Per KO is a legendary joker that copies a consumable in your hand, right? Creates a copy of a consumable in your hand. So if you're holding, say, like a Pluto card, it copies that Pluto card, right? And you can continually make
Just
copies of
like
that
when you
Pluto
had.
card.
So what? How does that work? It's like you
Right.
play
So that
each hand you've played, it'll copy it.
every time you start a new round, it copies
Yeah.
the card in your consumable. So if
So
you're
what you
holding
use it
you don't use
each
it.
round.
You just keep it in your hand. It copies it or whatever
Yeah, but
like
you need
that.
to use it, otherwise you've only got two slots.
No, it's negative. It's negative. So you can stack them. And so what you can do, there's a point as well. There's a card, a voucher that allows you that says any planetary card in your consumable slot will give you a times 1.5 mult. So then you get a blue joker acting on that per KO, right? So you start every round with a blue joker on that per KO, and it gives you 2 copies of the Pluto card. So you just keep but this is the level of manipulation and shit you can do, right? I think that's what it is. I'm watching these videos, I'm seeing these guys do all these outrageous things and whatever, and I'm like, oh, just want to just try it, right? To see how can I
play
construct.
around.
It all comes down, and I still say it. Balatro is the easiest thing to do. Way to describe Balatro is you're building an engine, and there's so many different tools and functions and forms of building that engine to do different things. It's just it's great.
Like you had a
So,
V12 running the other day.
yeah, it turned out to be an absolute dog. It was a lemon in the end. It was a lemon.
It was An Alfa Romeo V12.
Yeah, yeah. So watch this space because I know the trick for me. So my ultimate goal, I think, right now is to get an E number, right? To get a
Yeah.
score so high, and I know the things that I need to do to get it. I need red seals. I need high cards or whatever. I need steel cards with red seals, jokers that are going to re-trigger all card in hand abilities. I know all the things that are required to do it. If watching these videos and like I think it's like something like E to the 23, like this guy's getting E to the 20. Somebody went, that is like you have to wrap your
That's
head around how big,
insane.
right? How big these numbers. Somebody was saying that I think it was E to the 23 or something like that. They were saying
So that's
that
23 zeros.
yeah, they were saying that is more atoms than in the visible universe, right? Atoms in the visible universe, right?
Nah, shut up.
So right, exactly. You say that, right? But I mean, we have no we can't. You can't. There's no
These are
concept. I mean,
numbers that don't mean anything to people because
million
they're
doesn't
just
mean
too.
a million doesn't mean much. I mean, it's very difficult to visualize a million. Everyone thinks, "Oh, I can visualize a million." Really, can you? A million is a lot.
A
It
million
really is.
milligrams.
Yeah. Now think of a million, and then just keep going. And that, I mean, E to the 23 is million times a million times a million times a million times a million. I mean, it's just bonkers
An
numbers,
absolutely
right?
insane number.
Yeah.
It's not a Google though, is it? You know what a
No,
Google
is that
is?
100?
100 zeros.
Yeah. So no.
That's a fucking big number.
Yeah. So yeah, it remains to be. It's great. It remains great. So that's all. I'll be back, no doubt. Talk more. But I'm playing around.
Yeah. Wow. The game that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Wow. That only leaves the one game, doesn't it? Is that right?
Yes.
The game that I've been playing for.
I can actually contribute to this a little bit
Oh,
tonight
good.
too.
Oh, good. Because I see the boy has unlocked the new
I
area.
have well, I just straight away I'll tell you what my son was doing yesterday. I went down or the other day. He was fighting a dancing lion. Have you seen the
No,
dancing
that's the
lion?
first sort of boss from the new area.
Yeah, so he's in now fighting
Yeah.
this.
Well, did you watch him do the boss that you need to unlock?
No, I don't think so.
Mog, the fucking whatever his name is, Lord of Blood. That visually is a very cool fight to watch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he has
because the
the
dancing lion, I came down and I was like, that looks amazing.
well, it's like a fucking Chinese dragon
Yeah,
that
really
you
cool.
see like at the carnivals or whatever and stuff. Yeah, yeah, cool. They've got some fucking good monster design in these games.
I thought there
Turns
was
out they know what they're
tons.
fucking doing.
It wasn't even just yeah. I mean, it was, but not just the monster design. I mean, just the whole animations of everything was just it's
Yeah,
sharp. It looks brilliant. I was so
until it
impressed.
stutters, and then it's really irritating.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, see, when it runs fine for fucking ages, but when it starts having a fit, it's super annoying. But apparently, it's not exclusive to PC because I was very tempted to pick this up on PS5 and just start all
Oh
over
yeah,
again from scratch
because it would be jank free.
because I thought maybe it doesn't have that stutter issue, but I don't think the PS5 is free from that either. I'm like, that's annoying because I'm
Right.
ready to just go fuck it, start all over again from scratch
Why?
because I've nearly finished the new stuff.
Oh, just to play more.
Just to start all over again because it is,
And
and like I was like, you know what, it wouldn't be such a bad thing to have it again, or like on another platform. Just like my PS5, I could just download it to my PS5 whenever.
if you start playing it again, are you making massive changes to
Well,
your
I could
build?
just I would like potentially just play a completely different. Maybe I'll just go full on magic from the start because I've never really toyed with the magic stuff at all.
Right.
I have a little bit of incantations available to me, which is faith based, but I've I went down the samurai build to start with. I'm level fucking I don't know what. I've got stats. My stats in the base game would be great, but I'm now like the was it last week I spoke about towards the end of Shadow of the Erdtree. There's this fight you have to have with. There's multiple characters that turn up in this fight. Basically, like your enemies, and you can call in, depending on how you've played, one or two NPCs. I fucked up and missed a whole load of stuff. Like the thing is with this game's like just missed fucking so much stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
Actually,
despite
mention the
spending like,
NPCs because I think I saw Stan. He had one of his NPCs in getting the absolute shit kicked out of itself, but
so,
I know he was using them quite often.
oh, what was he using the spirit summon you talking about
I'm not sure.
in the boss fights? Because you can call in the spirit summon, which is like I use the one that's a copy of me, but there's loads of others that you can pick
Yeah,
from.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's actual NPCs that you talk to in
Oh,
the
of
world and
course.
do
Yeah.
quests
Sorry.
with, and
Right.
if
Yeah.
you do the right things and do all of their jobs that they want you to do, then at certain boss fights there'll be like a gold thing on the floor, a summon, and it'll be one of these
Oh,
NPCs that you've talked to or done quests with or whatever during the game.
will it always be there every
No, well,
fight?
only if you've done the right things.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've done the right things, will he be there
They're
for every time
literally
you
every time
fight
you
him?
go to the boss, it'll be like a gold thing on the floor. Which cool, summon X,
Oh, okay.
like Brian.
Well, that's worth doing.
Brian, your mate Brian, who does Brian things. I don't know. There's other guys. They're not all called Brian. And yeah, so they'll help you in the fight, or in terms of like sometimes they're really helpful, as in they'll have a damaged. They'll do a damage type that's really effective against the boss that you're fighting, which maybe you don't have because you've
Right.
played a different play style or whatever. Because like that's the thing, like you can be fine for ages, and then you'll come across a boss which you're basically ineffective against because it's like you don't like whatever you've procced into, you put all of your powers into.
Yeah.
It turns out to be completely useless against one of the bosses. And you're like, oh, great. This is now really fucking hard because this guy that I've got, my best weapons are like, for example, I don't know, do magic damage. And this guy's basically immune to magic. And you have to use like fire damage or whatever to do any damage to this guy. Fire is then largely pretty useful, it turns out, from what my experience personally. And blood loss and fire damage are the ones that I've had quite a lot of success with. But there
What's
are other.
blood loss?
So, like some of the weapons, they'll have a passive stat at the bottom that says something like accumulates blood loss, and it'll give you a number. And obviously, the bigger the number, the more blood loss it does, builds up. And like after you've hit something certain times with something that does blood loss, it will go blood loss, and it will just take a fucking big chunk of health off them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like poison. If you have a poison weapon, you have to hit it multiple times, and then they'll be poisoned, and they're taking damage over time. Tick, 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 tick. You'll see their health gradually going down, which obviously all of these shit works against you as well. So when one of the bosses or whatever does blood loss damage, if they hit you multiple times, all of a sudden, you can be fairly resistant because they might not do loads of damage initially, but after they've hit you multiple times, you just go, oof, huge chunk of health just disappeared, and it's like you're bleeding. So yeah, there's tons of mechanics, obviously, in this game.
Of course.
More than any of the Dark Souls, probably. I got to this, like I say, the main thing was the fight that I got to where you call in, I fucking can't remember their names. There's like 4. I had Redmayne, fucking, what's her name? Frida or Freya, I can't even remember now. Some fucking knight that is just wearing the hardest suit of armor and he's got a big fucking shield, and that's all he does. He just charges you with the shield, but if he hits you with the shield, you fucking go flying, and you're like on the floor, and you have to get up and all that sort of shit. And while you're doing that, someone just comes on and like pummels you with a sword or something. But that, I can't remember what I did. I basically went off and did something else for a bit, came back because it was fucking. I did it so many times. I was like, I need some more power, or I need some different weapons or something. So I went off and did some other stuff, came back, and I did that fight. Did call my summon in, and I did call the NPC guy in. I think what I did was I went to try and finish a quest line that would have bring another NPC in, but I'd basically gone beyond the point of no return on that quest line, so I couldn't do it. And I was like, bollocks. So I just went back and... one of the things you really need to pay attention with, I think, because after that fight, basically it's the last boss of the expansion, and that guy is an absolute fuckhead.
He should be.
Yes, because he's the last one. And I was just like, this one has 2 phases. So he's like did you see the Radahn fight? The original there's a guy called Radahn, Radahn. He's like a general, and he rides around. You're in this huge area, and he's riding around. He's a fucking giant guy with this tiny little horse. It looks fucking ridiculous, but in the best possible way. This is in the original game, and now he's like the consort Radahn or something, and he's just on his own, but he's fucking massive. And it's just like, I killed this other guy, and I bought all of his armor from the special vendor that you go to when you beat the bosses. So there was me. I was like, wearing my normal.
Sorry, what was he in originally?
It was Star Scourge Radahn in the original game, and he's, like I say, he's this fucking hoofing great geezer on a tiny little horse running around this great big area, and he throws. It's
in the first part of the game.
In the first part, yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. Okay. It's one of the best fights in the game because like there's just fucking meteors flying down and all sorts of shit. Like you can call loads of people to try and help you, and he's just pummeling everybody. It's fucking.
Yeah, I watched Stan fight this guy quite a lot. Yeah.
That was awesome. The first
I don't think I ever picked up the fact he was on a little horse.
You can see his tiny little horse. But yeah. So then
I see it. The horse looks like barely is just suffering.
It's fucking tiny, yeah. It's just stupid.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. This is why this game's the best game ever. It's just all like tiny little details that you might miss.
Love it.
And yeah, so he's now just a guy. Except he's not just the guy, because you get him down to his first stage, and it is Mikola is the one that keep going on about in this whole expansion. It's Mikola this, Mikola that, and so she turns up because I think they're supposed to, I don't know if they're like, he's the consort, so I guess they're supposed to be married or something. I don't fucking really know. It's like one of these batshit fucking Game of Thrones level nonsense going on, because it's obviously George R.R. Martin who wrote all the fucking weird shit to go with this game. So yeah, she turns up and like basically he piggybacks her, and that first stage of the fight just goes absolutely insane. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I can't even fucking do anything. And they're just like, you don't take a lot of damage, it seems like, but just stuff does not stop happening. And you're like, fucking hell, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. So that's where I've got to with Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm just like, it's a bit fucking full on, this fight. So it got to the point after doing that for about an hour, I was like, oh, fuck this. I reckon Millennia would be easier than this, which is like the one that everyone goes on about from the main game. Millennia is like this optional boss that you have to fucking go off the beaten track to find. And there was a guy, this is how that Let Me Solo Her was one of these, got super famous because they basically go in on this fight wearing... One of the helmets you can wear is like an upturned pot on your head. Yeah, and they just go in there with this pot on the head, 2 swords, and in their pants. No armor, just in their pants with a pot on the head and 2 swords, and they just like absolutely melt this woman, Millennia, who she goes through this. What happens with this fight is every time she attacks you successfully, she regains health. This is what makes this fight extremely fucking hard. So, because like you can, if you keep attacking her, you can like stop her attacking because she's got very low poise. So you can like interrupt her quite a lot. There's a couple of times that you can't. But when she's doing her normal attacks, if you keep full up in her face, like you can really get her health down quite a lot. But then you run out of stamina. And that's when the problems start, because like you're trying to hit her and like, oh shit, I've got no stamina. So she goes, ha, wallop, and her like quarter of her health bar comes back, and you're like, oh shit. So you can't really afford to get hit by her. And then obviously once you get her down to near 0 health, there's a second phase where she's got a full new health. She's in a completely new form, does loads of new attacks. But when in original form, she does this mad like triple, virtually unavoidable attack where all you can see is like she does this, she's like, fuck, I don't even know how to describe it. She jumps up and just like launches at you, and all you can see is her sword like fucking swishing around fucking everywhere, and you can see like white lines everywhere where this fucking sword's flying, and she does like 3 attacks like that. I have no idea how to avoid those. You can
You
avoid
just
them,
have to like,
apparently. No, there is a way to do it, but
yeah, but you just
you
but
need
if
to
you
know
can,
the
if
timing.
part of the strategy was to just absorb that and get on with it, right?
Well, for me, I was just like, I try my best to avoid it, but she inevitably hits me a couple of 3 times, and like it does quite a lot of damage to you. But then once she's done that, hopefully you can run away if I can get a health flask or whatever in you, and then go back and have another go. But she does that same attack in her second phase, and I've nearly killed her like fucking multiple times. I've had her down to like, I don't know, like 15-20% of her health on the second phase, and I'm like, I'm so nearly fucking killed you. And then she just absolutely melts me. Ah! But still, I've got way nearer killing her than I have this other guy in the expansion.
Oh,
He's just
so
an
right,
absolute beast. An
right.
absolute beast. But it's like this whole different leveling system in the expansion. Because, like, going back to the old game, I'm level 200 and something stupid now. I could probably, what I could do, I could go and beat Millennia if I just went and see the woman, the old queen that I beat up quite early in the game, and just respect and really pumped my stats into the weapons that I've got that would really boost the damage that they do. So I could probably just go in there, melt there, finish her off. Like what I'm doing now is I got my dexterity to a point where it was quite high for the main game, but then that becomes quite irrelevant in the expansion, and you have to have these scattered tree fragments to increase your damage and damage absorption abilities. But yeah, fucking.
So what's the roadmap now then, you
I
reckon?
don't know. I think, like I said, I don't know if I said. Did I say this last? I was watching Limmy, and he was running around. He pumped loads of his stats into strength. He was really low in loads of all of his other areas, but he just had like 80 strength. And I have not. I've got 55 dexterity still. Since then I've just been started spreading all of the fucking stuff out so that I could use loads of different weapons. Because I was like, I'm a bit bored of just using the same weapon all the time, so I want to have all these options available. So I just went in and just started up to half to a point. I was just spreading my stats across loads of different, or spreading my points across loads of different stats so that I could use weapons that I couldn't use before, or I could wear more armor because I had more strength, more endurance, and that sort of thing. And yeah, so I don't know. I've got a load of points that I could really specialize and just like probably max out 99 in some of the stats and just make it quite easy to go back and just really boost damage types for very specific weapons, because I've got enough materials to boost, because you have to level up your weapons as well. I could probably just go and like work out what weapons I
For
need and to
for
do
the
what I need to do.
layman, are you just will you continue with this? Because you mentioned going to another save. Continue with this, build up that character, keep building up the same character, and then plow through, or start a new build.
Well, I could just, like I say, I can just like go to this vendor now and just respec with all the points that I've got.
You
They
can
go back to my
completely
base
just
stats,
re.
and I can just go and
Oh,
put them
okay,
where I want
right.
them.
Sorry,
I've
I
got
missed that. Okay,
loads and loads of points available now that I could really, like I say, I could just boost dexterity to like 80
gotcha.
and cut some of the others down, and really, or I could go in and fucking completely change it and put it all into strength and use a
Do a
different weapon
limmy.
type. Yeah, exactly. But like I
All
said,
right.
I was watching him and he was just like jump attacking everything. He would jump up and do a massive slam attack. And because he had high strength, he was just absolutely wrecking things. I was like, it takes me like fucking loads of time to kill that enemy. You just literally did one hit killed, because I'm doing a different type of damage with a different type of weapon.
If somebody even breathes on him, he's dead.
I wouldn't say that. Because he's if you pump up the strength, then you tend to be able to absorb more damage as well. I think it's like a two-way thing. So you can do a lot of damage with strength scaling weapons, but also you can take a bit more damage, and you take more damage before you get staggered and things like that.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot
All
going
right.
on in these games.
There
This
is a
one in
lot going on with
particular.
Eld. There does seem to be a lot going on with Elden Ring, funnily
Yes,
enough.
it's enough to keep you going for 300 hours, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know,
apparently
or
so.
possibly more.
More next week?
New game plus, maybe. Who knows? Start all over again. So
All
yeah,
right.
an absolutely essential game.
Unbelievable. One day, I promise.
Yeah, when your son's finished it.
Yeah, when my son leaves home, I can reclaim the basement. Okay.
You can't play it at the same time, can you?
No, we can't do
It
that
is on
either.
family sharing though, so it's not like Hunt Showdown where you
I
literally have
don't
to
know.
buy it.
I have fired it up, but yeah, I do need to. Yeah, all right. I say this every
The
time.
thing
All
is,
right.
you've just dying is part of the game.
I know.
You
All
like
right.
you've got to. It's
Man up.
part of the
Suck it up,
learning process.
Buttercup.
It's just part of the
I know.
learning
No,
process.
I
You
need to.
die in
You
every
know,
other game you play.
it's the same as everything. Manage the expectations of what the game is going to
How many
experience is going to
times
be
have you
like.
died in fucking what was it you playing earlier? Final Fantasy over the years.
A few. Anyway, if I
What, like
died for
three?
how much in Hunt?
Well,
Hunt's probably a
exactly.
better
And you still
example.
play that for fucking thousand
Yeah,
spells.
all right. Call it.
It.
All right. Do you want to do a shout out to anyone in chat?
Well, we had a few. Big Kev. I don't know if that's a name change. But is that our Kev? I think it might be.
I'm not sure.
It's been around for a while on Twitch anyway. Baron, Sumu. I think that's it, is it? Oh, Arnie for subbing. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay, good. I don't think we need to do Dave's bit.
You
You
can
know where to
contact
find
us at
us.
sealpodcast.com and then all the links are there for all of our shit.
There you go. Sealpodcast.com. Figure it out from there. We know you can.
You can do it.
You can do it, Duffy. Okay, let's call that a show then. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. We appreciate it as always. Thanks, Neil, for all your
Being
hard
here.
work and effort and being here and being you. And
Not
Dave,
getting
hope you
too
get.
drunk.
No, you've done well. You couldn't. No, it's step up. You had to be there like the rock you are. When Dave, when we're a man down. Dave, hope you get well soon, mate.
Yes, indeed.
All right. I won't be around next week. Not sure whether the guys are going to get a show out or not. We'll see.
We'll see. Indeed. See if Dave's feeling up to it next week.
So anyway, I will definitely see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Later.